Good evening and welcome to StarkCast Mk26. I am, of course, your host of this particular news broadcast, the one, the only, the Stark of Iron. And I am joined by my motley assembly of pop culture pundits to begin talking of the day's news. And believe you me when I say that we're going to be doing a lot more making fun of some people that are relatively stupid. Because quite frankly, everybody and their mother in this day and age has a case of main character syndrome. Let's go ahead and go around the horn and welcome everybody to the panel. Of course, we got the first, the Shadow.
Hey, how's it going, folks? Welcome to StarkCast. I know I missed last week, but we've got a lot of stuff for you guys. Hope you hang in there with us. If you're new to the StarkCast, please like and subscribe. And stick around. It's going to be an interesting couple of hours.
It's going to be an interesting couple of hours. We're going to be talking about what's happening in the wild, wacky world of Holly Weird. We're going to be breaking controllers over some terrible decisions made by the folks, out there like at Rockstar and those, the lawsuits that are going to be coming out that may be delaying GTA 6 again. Shocker there. Let's go ahead and welcome, of course, our good friend, the disgruntled, occasionally, quote, mad, end quote, scientist and director.
I thoroughly defied the terminology mad. Quite frankly, looking for insane people, but just check Twitter, X, or just anywhere online. I am not insane, and I'm just more disgruntled, annoyed, angry, mostly at them, otherwise. All's going well. Some politicians might have found some very exotic defacement of anything that could be laser etched, and I'm overall in a great mood if it wasn't for other events in recent news that I shall not discuss.
Indeed. But don't fret, folks. We will find a way to cover it in due time in a place to those that want to hear it. But speaking of somebody who wants to make sure that everybody everywhere hears everything, the host, the creator of this network, which we are a part of, ladies and gentlemen, the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman. How's life treating you?
Very well. I'm tired. So that's my intro.
Sounds to me like your back is in love with you again. Hopefully we'll be able to take care of... Not yet?
Not yet. Give it an hour. Give it an hour.
It's good to see you. Nonetheless, I'm glad to have you here. And of course, dropping right off from Scooby Pup's podcast, of course, one of the best showings ever. This girl kept talking and talking. I was so proud of her. Scooby Pup, welcome to the show, my dear. How you doing today?
Me, and just keeping up with the usual female stereotype of she wants top talkie, that sort of thing. Great to be here. I see my guest cancel. This podcast is in the chat. Thanks for coming in. Thanks, and welcome to the chat, everybody. Let's hope for a good show.
I think we're going to have a great show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one for the books. But then again, I say that every week, and then I have to always attempt to outshine each and every performance. So with that out of the way, once again, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and say hello to some of the fine folks out there in the wild, wacky world of YouTube and subsequently Rumble Land. We got FKHC 2005, first to the fight. Hail to you, Steph. It's good to see you. Last Hurrah, absolutely not. This show is definitely going to be going on. We're going to be splitting it. This show will be back next week, guys. Let's get a few things clear before we go any further. The Tower After Hours is just splitting some of the, let's just say hotter topics and hotter takes for the Green Machine side of things. StarkCast Mk27 will be appearing as scheduled next week. Okay. It's just going to be a bit of a refocus to where we're just making fun of more stupid people. There's going to be a little bit more odd news, a little less pop culture news. It'll be fine. We're not going to miss a beat, okay? Let's see. We got our good friend Piranha Pout here saying, yes, indeed, it was a pup raid. How was the gym? It's a pleasure to see you. Who wants to straight talk on the stuff this week? We are definitely going to be getting into the straight talk. Good to see you, Lord Dragneel. It is indeed a Scooby Raid. Good to see you, St. Hugo. Welcome to the show. Dignified pulling both double duty into chat as well as on the panel. It is a pleasure. We got the Hungry Slug ready and waiting. Well, we are hopefully ready to serve you some lunch in the form of the weekly review in the news. We got Alex and Darjeeling. I'm just going to call you Alex, okay? Pleasure to meet you, Alex3394. Welcome to tonight's program. We got, of course, Husker hanging out with us. Good to see you. We got AJ Starhiker. It is an absolute pleasure to see you. Hopefully life is treating you well. I hope everybody is having a great time. And yes, you're going to grab some dinner, but I'll be lurking. I hope that you eat something enjoyable. Gap After Dark. Scooby Pup pulling double duty. The great Christian fandom geek. One of the first friends that I met back in the Overlord DVD community so long ago. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the show. Alias, as a tangent, I will turn up anywhere I'm invited within my schedule and it's first come, first serve. Oh, yes, you will be here. We're still doing this. We're not
I'm not going away.
It.
I'm just
Yeah,
a PSA, if you will.
As for that raid, what can I say? After the show, I'd like to free everybody from the hot dog house. So they can run free, run everywhere. Just guys, avoid the pound.
Indeed, we got our good friend Furious Dan chilling out here. It's a pleasure to see you. It's good to see you one and all. And yes, today was a good day. Some skiing, some burgers, and some beer. Sounds like my idea of fun.
I gotta say, AJ Starhiker, when it comes to racing games, she doesn't fool around. She's vicious.
Oh, no. I'd say so.
She is vicious. She whoops me almost every time in Sonic Crossworlds. But, I always get back at her.
And it's a pleasure to see Commodore Productions and Kronos waltzing through the door. A pleasure to see you one and all. Welcome back to the show. And we will take care of business. And it's good to see Penny as well. I suppose we should go ahead and get into our first topic of the Hollywood news. And, of course, we will continue the format of reading the article. And then everybody, of course, weighing in on it. So let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars. If Gator were here, he'd be like, Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. That's my piss poor Gator impersonation, and no, I'm not apologetic for it. Dave Filoni has taken over Star Wars as the Lucasfilm president. Now, Filoni Baloney here has been noteworthy doing some terrible things to the franchise. But of course, obviously, after we read and react to this, I do have a message for everybody out there who enjoys the old stuff, because quite frankly, there is something that we all can do. I am beginning to follow Sig Vollison's train of thought here that pop culture is truly, truly dead. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. But let's go ahead and get right into this, shall we? The galaxy is about to get a new fearless leader. Via Puck News, Disney is reportedly set to confirm that longtime Star Wars creative Dave Filoni will take over Lucasfilm as KK steps down from her role as president. In the next week or two, Disney will finally confirm what we've known for months. Kathleen Kennedy is indeed stepping down as Lucasfilm president, and Dave Filoni, currently as chief creative officer of the Star Wars unit, will be elevated to the top job. Filoni will be joined by Lyndon Brennan, who will handle the business side of the company, while Filoni will take the lead in creative decisions across film, TV, and other Star Wars media. Filoni, who has long been seen as a natural successor to Kennedy, currently serves as Lucasfilm's chief creative officer and is best known for his work on the Clone Wars, Rebels, The Mandalorian, and Ahsoka. Because a Jedi Knight on ketamine is just good. Star Wars. Fans created with him with restoring the spirit of George Lucas's vision for Star Wars and his elevation that has been expected for months, especially after a series of creative mishaps under Kennedy's leadership. While Filoni isn't considered a traditional executive, Disney will pair him with Brennan, a current president and general manager of Lucasfilm Business, to balance out the creative operational aspects of the company. KK is finally stepping down, and it seems that now the rumor mill on this can finally stop. Announced last February, Kennedy's exit comes after more than a decade leading to Lucasfilm, a tenure that saw both the highs and The Force Awakens and the lows, the divisive sequel trilogy, and several abandoned projects. According to the report, her longtime publicist is already preparing her media farewell tour, expected to be more polished than informative. Kennedy's departure and Filoni's rise mark a major changing of the guard, with Disney's focus now shifting towards rebuilding trust in the Star Wars brand. Generally, after having an underwhelming recent theatrical efforts, streaming fatigue giving Filoni creative control could signal a return to basics. But yeah, we're missing that guy there. You know, that, what's that guy's name? John
Favreau, that made everything
John
great.
Favreau. Oh, I was being funny.
I know, sweetie.
That's the man that needs to be in charge. But who am I to say anything, right? Because, like I said, I have a point that's going to come out of all this. What's next? Filoni's takeover comes from the upcoming releases of Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu, May 22nd, 2026 release of Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter, May 18, 2027. Filoni also has Ahsoka Season 2 in development, expected to be released later this year on the Disney minus. Whether he can turn around the franchise's recent struggles remains to be seen, but fans will likely see this as a long overdue course correction. And stay tuned for the official announcement. Okay, kids. Okay, he's got top hat gentleman must have saw KK and went temporarily blind. Yeah. I've gone blind. 1 second. It's good to see everybody out there hanging out. All right, well, let's go ahead and go around the proverbial horn, as it were. Son of Mars, the Shadow. What are your thoughts on this particular turn of events?
I'm gonna go back. Yeah. I'm gonna go back old school and quote Shakespearean prose. Nothing good can come of this. And just say it there. I mean, the fact that he is co-president of that is a sign that Filoni, while having creative chops, does not have the chops to be able to run an enterprise the size, like, and nature that Lucasfilm is. Okay. And let's be honest. Okay. What is he picking up? He's picking up the remnants of what came out of KK's tenure. The Acolyte. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Okay. Ahsoka season 1, where we got limp Ezra Bridger and back from the, oh my God, I didn't know that lightsabers couldn't kill you. Whatever her name was. Okay. I mean, for crying out loud. First, we lost Qui-Gon Jinn to a lightsaber, but somehow this other person is somehow salvageable because in the intervening 20 years between that episode 1 and now, somehow technology has advanced that lightsabers can't really kill you.
Oh okay. Yeah, they're training devices, right?
Yeah,
they're I always think about that scene in Futurama when the cops pull out their, we're gonna go 23rd century on his ass.
Yeah,
they have the lightsaber sound effects, but they're just nightsticks.
Yeah, and just the whole extension of the Night Sisters, the Dathomiri witches, which how exactly were these witches in communication with the other ones that were in a different galaxy, such that if they were in communication, they couldn't save their sisters in another galaxy? I mean, they supposedly were.
Figure out they found a way to subspace. They found a way to subspace communicate.
I mean, hey, it's like we knew the space whales were traveling between the galaxies. Couldn't they have just turned around and hitched a ride and helped save the Night Sisters in the Prime Galaxy? I mean, all these things are questions. These are complete and utter plotline holes.
Right.
Okay.
It's just terrible writing. Good to see you there, Vox. How you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have high expectations from this. Yes, I want to see the Mandalorian and Grogu movie just because. But I have about as much expectation of that as I had the Book of Boba Fett. And
you're going into watching that film for the same reason that a lot of us would even consider watching that film, and that's for something to point and laugh at, right? Like, I mean, I don't have aspirations for new Star Wars at all. No. This changing of the presidential status, he's obviously going to be a puppet emperor. He's going to have somebody running the business behind him going, this isn't savvy. Our investors are saying so. So is he going to really be in complete control? The answer, all answers point to no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Paintball says chances are no.
Correct. Good to see you, Rumi. How you doing tonight? Director, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think you're quite right. It doesn't seem like he'll be able to make any meaningful changes. Plus, as he was such a diddle attendant to KK during her run, would he really defy her vision?
Of course not. No.
They talk about something that dropped out of the end of her career. It dropped out of something else out of her, too. I mean, she ran her entire career as if she had a special death vendetta, not just against Star Wars, but all LucasArts IPs. Like, no one did more to kill Indiana Jones. This is a person who didn't really seem to want to make a success out of anything, but rather settle some ancient grudge.
She really was, and there's a lot of motivation. You could tell she just hates Steven Spielberg with a passion. Like she grits her molars. You mentioned Steven Spielberg in her presence. You can literally see the tells in her face. Her conscious effort to keep her eye from twitching, the grinding of the molars like a crack addict. Like you can tell she hates.
I would love to have a conversation with her now.
Yeah,
I could mention him so many times.
She hates that man.
Remember when Indiana Jones made sense? Look, I'm going to wrap this up quickly. This is, again, not just long overdue, but seemingly vastly insufficient. We'll see, but I'm not going to bother getting my hopes up. At the very least, we can say the bright side, KK bye.
Yeah, indeed. And the rumor mill can finally stop. As literally everybody and their mother was saying, oh, she's out for a better half of 4 to 5 years now.
Hope has sprung eternal.
I mean, Manifest Destiny usually works a lot quicker than that. But here we are. Digny, are you in the same agreement? I feel like while this is happening, there isn't going to be any real change, but you may have a different perspective.
Oh, we won't see any meaningful change of this, at least for the next few years. Okay? No meaningful change at all. I don't know what that noise is, but it's certainly not coming from me. I'd also like to make the point that Kathleen Kennedy has a twin sister. Okay? And my theory was Kathleen Kennedy was going to retire and be replaced by her twin sister. It seems that's not happening. But best of luck to Dave Filoni. Best of luck to his hat collection. And best of luck to his coven witch wife, who was the main inspiration behind the Night Sisters of Dathomir. Literally. He managed to insert his wife into future Star Wars projects as an allegory.
And are we forgetting something?
Go ahead.
The power of one, the power of two, and don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
Don't.
The power of Dave Filoni.
The power of Pine Sol, baby. How about that?
There you go.
Look, it takes projects at least a few years to really be made manifest. So we aren't really going to see any massive creative differences until about 2028 at the earliest.
Mm-hmm.
So make of that what you will. Best of luck to the Mandalorian and Grogu, but Solo lost money.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they're not selling any toys. Part of this is to sell toys, and this is something a lot of people don't get. You have to be able to sell your toys. And there is no profit to be made with one person having collections of the old Kenner stuff, you know, the 70s run, the 80s run, the greenback and redback 90s run, which I still have a bunch of, you know. You can't recreate that kind of merchandising now, because all of us older people that enjoyed the original stuff is just, you know, trading it back and forth for a couple $100 whenever we want to eat more than ramen once or twice a week, right? So, I mean, there's nobody's buying Grogu toys besides a select few, and nobody's buying anything else but the Grogu toys out of that. So they're not making any money at all. Scoobs, what are your thoughts?
I call bullshit. Because there is no way this woman's going to be gone for good. She's like the Bob Iger of Star Wars. Okay, she's going to leave, and then she's going to come back. As far as Filoni goes, it's going to be basically, we're going from, man, this stuff is horrific, to, okay, this stuff is still horrific, but now we're going to get the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
I do not look forward to this at all. Not in the slightest bit. Nothing's going to change. I honestly do not think anything is going to change. I think if anything, it's probably just going to get worse.
It's going to be a multiverse, Morty. Ashoka's going to come out from the multiverse, Morty.
It is going to be a multiverse. We already saw some of that in Ahsoka. We already saw something similar to that in Ahsoka. Okay, they're already touching into it. It's only a matter of time. So yeah, I no good will come of this. Absolutely none.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Scoop Up? I want to bounce something off of you.
Yeah.
I have a thought, and I didn't say it when it was my turn, but I have a thought. KK is going to come back as a consulting producer on some of these projects. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think she's going to come back as a consulting producer. I think she's going to come back. Period. I was talking to Jason about this after my show, and both he and I are in agreement on. Yeah, there's no getting rid of her. I mean, she knows where the bodies are buried. There's no way they're going to get rid of. There's no way she's going to quit. She's got. I mean, even if she did come back as a consulting, it wouldn't matter. They're going to treat it as if she made it, because she's probably going to want the credit for it anyways. So no matter what, it's nothing will change. The series will suck. They branded it as sorry, Tony, but they branded it as a shitty series, and that's exactly what it is. It will never ever change from that. It will always be that.
Yeah, you can say the occasional. That's perfectly fine.
It will always be that. They ruined it. They went from, they figured, oh, hey, let's acquire a boys outlet because they don't have anything with boys. Well, what did they do? They acquired the boys. And what did they do? They replaced it with females. It's like, are you... I want to... Even with what she did with Indiana Jones, that pissed me off to the highest degree.
Well, I want to say
this woman needs to be gone. But the thing is, we all know she'll be back.
I want to say a few things to my chat here. Mr. Eagle Flying says they're selling toys, but they're selling to Ollie's outlet. I mean, that's something, I guess. In before the Star Wars Zombies universe, I did see an article, Jace, about them wanting to go forward with a Death Troopers storyline. And for those of you who read Death Troopers, I still have my copy. It's paperback and it's kind of warped from moisture damage when my old place got flooded. But yeah, it was a good little read. But Star Wars Zombies full time could be very bad. Emily, aka Rumi, is here saying, so it is bad about the selling toys. It's the fact that they're not selling is the issue. So is it good or bad? I'm still new here. Hey, it's Piper. Speaking of somebody, say hi to Snow. I don't know if I'll be available there. I want Alf to be, but I do want to be there for Tuck and Roll show, which is going to be happening at I think at the same time as Cotton Council. This will be Tuck and Roll season 6 on the Snowdub channel, and it'll be good to hang out with you if I'm able to make it. Yeah, not brains. They're just undead that wanted to wipe out everybody else on the ship.
And I gotta say, if they so much as even touch Revan, I'm gonna be pissed. I will go to the studios and I will say, "Don't," with a nice little dagger. And I'm gonna say, "Okay,
nice in Minecraft."
No, not even a dagger. I'm gonna go over there with a hammer and
Diamond
just
sword
destroy
Minecraft.
every single freaking thing over there. I'm just like, no, you do not touch Revan. No, Revan
This is what
off
happens.
limits.
This is what happens, Tony, when you let cancel this podcast interact with anyone. They just get instantly radicalized by it.
You're fine. Now, Jace is good people. Mr. Eaglefly goes on to say, the funny thing about KK, she's been nominated for 8 Academy Awards as producer, but never won. They had to give her a Lifetime Achievement Award to placate her. Yeah. She is the biggest case of main character syndrome. And that's basically what this episode of StarkCast is about, is main character syndrome. Dave Filoni is now going to be purported as the main character as president, despite the fact that the real main characters is going to be the executive on one shoulder and Kathleen on the other. It's one big I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me roundtable over there at Lucasfilm. And while somebody might be coming down from being president, it's still all 3 of those people being victims of the main character syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. I mean,
So-
it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those situations where, okay, buddy, now you have to stand and deliver. Okay, you got nobody else. You got nobody else to blame. Nobody else to point fingers at. If your stuff comes back stinking.
So here is where this first message comes into play. At 9 p.m. Eastern, which I hope that we are wrapped up for by then, my good friend Fed for Hire, the guy who does the thumbnails and a lot of the artwork for Doomcock, is going to be talking about Star Wars. Not Star Wars and New Hope, not Star Wars Empire or Jedi, not the prequels, not the sequels, Star Wars. 1977, the original theatrical release, as intended, as delivered, George Lucas's true vision. And that is, by proxy, how we need to really treat this stuff. We have to just separate from what they're doing now. We have what's ours. We will always cherish what is ours. DC said it himself. If you don't want to play a new edition of Dungeons and Dragons, pull out your old books and get some friends over. Who cares? We are always going to have what is ours. That is never going to change. That is never going to change. There's always going to be that small group that we're going to be able to pass down the good stuff to, that are going to carry it down to the next generation after us.
Absolutely. Bring
Very
out
true.
that Blu-ray pack where Han shot first.
Yeah, Han shot only.
Well, that's because he shot first, but that's perfectly fine. So
See?
my point is that when it comes to a lot of media, there's been a lot of pushes by people who say that you can't like something because someone else that you should hate likes the thing. And that's never true. Never let someone else liking a thing that you like make you hate it, and don't let someone else hating something you like make you hate it. Even if the people who hate the thing that you like are presently in control of the property.
Mm-hmm. So that's the point. Is like I see so many people covering these topics, and people are stupid outside of the big studios. People are stupid outside of the game companies, and we're just gonna start making fun of stupid people in mass in general. It doesn't have to follow a certain flavor of stupidity, like what they're doing in Lucasfilm, like what they're doing in Paramount, or like what they're doing at Rockstar and Naughty Dog. And we could just generally just make fun of stupid people and not have to repeat what other channels are doing, because that is just going to be the same story from a different set of mouths and ears and eyes and perspectives. We can have a lot more fun and cover things that isn't covered if we break that mold that has been set by the COVID era coverage people, which is what this is. The people that got successful doing what we're talking about right now are only successful because they started at a time when everybody was still locked in their homes and they had nothing to do but find something else to complain about, so that they wouldn't have to worry about going outside and getting a disease. That's really what it boils down to. Everybody else. Then there's everybody else. People like us small fries that are trying to make it. So I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to have all of these messages behind every one of these big topics, because we are always going to have what we're going to have. And that is always going to be gold. And gold only gets more valuable the more rare it gets. The fact that Fet for Hire is going to be talking about the 1977 release makes me genuinely smile, because that's something that we love talking about. That's not us complaining. There's nothing to complain about that film. That's just a genuine positive change that we all need to start focusing towards. But that's my thoughts on it. Let's go ahead and go to the chat. We didn't get any supers or donos just yet, so let's see here. I have been genuinely looking at it. Is 1997 cut lost media? Did anyone found it yet? 1977 is out there on every bootleg tape. Whenever somebody recorded it off the TV in like the early 90s, there's probably some people out there that have a copy of it on VHS before they stopped printing them. It's out there. You just have to find it. And I'm pretty sure Fet, of all people, if you look at Fet for Hire's loot room with all of his nerd stuff, with all of his Star Wars stuff, he has a massive, I'm talking massive collection. The dude's got everything. So if anybody's going to have a copy of the 1977 original release, it's Fet for Hire. So yeah, it's out there. You just got to, roll up your sleeves and push through the dirt a little bit to find it. Let's see here. Yeah, we're talking about Star Wars, and we'll be covering Trek here in a little bit, and we're going to be talking about Rockstar. This is the news show, Angel Dust. And then we're going to be making fun of what happens whenever you let sheep into a supermarket. Who is clapping? My studio audience is clapping, Kronos. My studio audience. See? Go ahead and say hi there, guys. Production quality is clapping, Kronos. All right. So I believe that's going to go ahead and cap off our first topic. In our next section of our Hollywood news, we're going to talk about the other side of things. We're going to talk about what the general views for Starfleet Academy are, and they're already out. And it's laughable. The Starfleet Academy reviews are in. The reviews are out on the upcoming Star Trek Starfleet Academy series, and the reaction has not been bad. On Rotten Tomatoes, it sits at an 83%. which is one above the 82% that Star Trek Discovery debuted with. Oh, wow. A whole 1%, guys. A whole 1%. We're already reaching. On Metacritic, it is at 65 out of 100, which is above the 59 of 100 of the first season of Lower Decks. All right. We're really measuring this one at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, one at a time. For the first season of Voyager. And it's just below 66 for the first season of Voyager, which of the old original Star Trek is, of course, the more superior of anything else that it's being compared to. But in the original run, it's like Voyager's out there. It's really bad in comparison. Like it's Deep Space Nine bad. It's a vast improvement over the disastrous scores for the Section 31 movie last year, and reviews are already repeatedly saying much the same thing. This is a Star Trek that is trying something quite new and taking risks. This is what happens when you break the mold, kiddies. You fall on your face. Here's a sampling of reviews. Star Trek endures because it keeps returning to the radical idea that hope is something you can patiently build over time. Whether the series can live up to that legacy remains an open question, but it's planting the right seeds. Zaki Hassan, SF Chronicle. His last name is Hassan. That's funny. Does this blend of the old and the new, at least new to Star Trek, actually work? At times, it almost shockingly well. At others, there are many growing pains and awkward interactions for Starfleet Academy itself, as there are for its students. Adam Sepinwall, who's out and watching. Apparently, it's a podcast. This is a new, exciting frontier for Star Trek that breaks up the formula and is definitely worth tuning to. Michael Graham, the rap. Starfleet Academy clearly has a lot of love for what has come before it and how that history will shape this next generation, but also love Star Trek enough to keep trying to push it forward too. James Whitbrook from IO9. Nobody trust nobody from IO9. Starfleet Academy is the best example of what Star Trek can do.
Jesus.
Cue the Vox laugh.
We don't need a laugh track for that, folks. My goodness.
Oh, Lord. And should be doing in this modern era, effortlessly inclusive, compelling, and innovative. Semantically, the collider. The show gets better as it goes on, especially on its thoughtful and joyous fourth episode and its hilarious canon-rattling fifth entry. Jacob Hall /film. It may end up scrutinizing the boldly going space adventures more than any other series of the franchise. Nah, I think that's still going to go to Lower Decks, but hey, good thought process. This fact means that it's also, although SFA may not be the show hardcore Trekkies were expecting, well, no shit, Sherlock. It is certainly an undeniably new Ryan Britt inverse. Star Trek Starfleet Academy is set to premiere on January 15th. So 5 days from now. I don't know. I just don't know. So here we go.
When are we getting the Orville?
When where in the bloody hell is the Orville?
Where's the real Star Trek show?
All right, Marcelo.
You got me. You got me, Digny. I had this whole thing lined up, and then you hit me with Orville, and now I have to take this in a totally different direction. If everybody remembers what I said during the last segment, I'm going to say that times 1,000. Okay. Speaking as and I don't think there's any doubt of this, as the oldest person on this panel. Yeah, I'm not a boomer. Get over it. Okay. But someone who saw the original run. Okay. We didn't experience some of the self-congratulatory sort of reviewing that you're getting for this particular show back then. The original Star Trek did not need this kind of push behind it to get people to watch it because it was itself It did what it wanted to do. It pushed boundaries that what back then people didn't realize needed to be pushed, okay? And it didn't go around patting itself on the back. It got canceled after 3 years, and here we are nearly 60 years. Well, wait a minute, excuse me. 60 years later, talking about it, reverential tones, because they have yet to recapture the same magic they had back then 60 years later, folks. For anybody talking about this or looking at this, go back and look at those original episodes in context of the time that it came out. We were in the middle of a war, okay? We were non-inclusive of culture to a degree here, okay? We had many, many problems that we are, let's be frank, we are not suffering from today, despite what some people may tell you. Why? Because I lived through some of that, people, okay? And we have it so much better off than we had it back then, that for people to say that this show needs to be made to demonstrate the strides that we've made is completely tone deaf. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Don't let them tell you otherwise. Okay?
You know that there was a time, where there wasn't the ability to just, plug in via peripheral device into the well of human knowledge that is the internet. There was a time where you actually had to use this thing called the Dewey Decimal System to be able to identify a reference book that is already outdated after printing, because more information was pouring in by the year to get a reference. There was a time whenever you could not walk too far away from wherever the phone was mounted on the wall, if you were unlucky to mount one on the wall to talk to someone, and you can only talk to one person at a time. There was a time, ladies and gentlemen, where you ate what was on your plate and you couldn't just go, well, I'll just still go and DoorDash. Instead, after mom spent 8 hours in the kitchen cooking dinner. People don't understand that the luxuries, the things that we take for granted now, are alien concepts as recent as 30 to 40 years ago. Completely and utterly alien concepts. Oh my God, the luxury of not having to leave the house to eat.
Yeah.
The luxury of working from home. Holy guacamole.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, look, it's not about the fact that it was all rainbows and unicorns. Yeah.
Right.
It said unicorns back then. Okay. It's not to push to some of the younger folks who are part of the community here, that we're trying to poo-poo on stuff that's new. Okay. It's just that it's not substantive. It's not even member berries, folks.
No, it isn't.
Okay. This is like Star Trek Degrassi for some of the younger folks who might have seen
Star Trek the OC.
Not even the OC had deeper themes than what this show has. Okay, the fact that they've had to bring back Robert Picardo, who was the doctor from Star Trek Voyager. Okay, the fact that they've brought in an Academy Award winning actress, okay, to be the captain of the particular starship that they're on their mission with. Okay. That's indicative of them having to kind of prop up the show. Okay. Other than Dune, who knew Patrick Stewart? Nobody. Who knew Deanna Troi? Nobody. Who really knew Brent Spiner? He was on a show. He was on an episode of Cheers. Nobody knows what that show is anyways, but these were
I know Cheers.
Yeah, mostly these people were unknowns when they went on Star Trek The Next Generation. Okay? They were mostly unknowns. Okay? Yeah, absolutely. The director's got it right there.
The director wants to know Is that truly Klingon anatomy? That is my guess to the
There you
level
go.
of disgust.
I want to know what lanky beanpole twee thing posing as a Klingon here actually is.
Yeah.
This is the price of Federation membership. Your entire society gets cut.
They castrate him upon arrival.
For those who don't know what those words are, I highly suggest Merriam-Webster. Okay, it basically means you're not who you are, and you're not who you can be.
That Klingon from the drumhead was right. Klingon blood has become water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm serious.
When is this taking place? Is this after the Klingon Empire was subjugated and reduced to 2 centuries of struggle sessions?
Remember that time
Maybe.
last Saturday whenever we caught the crew of the USS Enterprise finding yet another planet that definitely looks like a balmy section of Southern California?
I don't
I think this
revisit.
is the
trail.
basis of comparison, is the reason why certain Klingons that have grown up on such civilized worlds now look like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this, and I don't want to now. That one image tells me more than I ever wanted to know. Are they going to tackle such harrowing topics as the consequences of allowing massive Ferengi in immigration to open daycares in Federation space?
I have one question, Director. Where are the Ferengis? I mean, if we're trying to be inclusive, where the hell are the Ferengis?
Well, actually, those have to be the real evil ones. After no, they're hyper capital, so obviously they're going to
What
be the
about?
enemy
I
of the
mean,
series.
if anybody is going to be emotional wrecks for this otherwise college show with a Starfleet paint job, where are the Romulans? They're the emotional wrecks. Duh.
I want to know where the fucking Romulans are too.
If you want somebody to star in this show, they need to be freaking Romulan.
It's an absolutely hard concept, and it hurts me because there's so much to explore in the Star Trek series. Quite frankly, you could open up a series just revisiting the various aliens that the Enterprise encountered and how Starfleet ostensibly dealt with them, because there are 1,001 things that the Enterprise encountered but did not meaningfully resolve. Countless species that could eat planets, any number of weird scientific effects, like, weird space radiation that causes reverse evolution in a singular person, which doesn't even make sense. Look, so much to study. Kind of a series following a science vessel. But instead, Degrassi High in space.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I didn't expect this to make me so angry.
Oh, well, you have.
This is probably because of last Saturday and learning it was all a fraud shot in South California.
Yeah. Every planet that the crew seems to have discovered has led to this very moment. We do have orbital laser platforms for you to properly vent. Feel free to draw a giant pecker in the Mojave after we're done here. Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, what are your thoughts on this?
This story is set so far in the future of this franchise. The Borg is dead. The Klingon Empire is part of the Federation. Who knows what happened to the Romulans? Maybe the Federation just exterminated them. Same with the Cardassians and the Ferengi. For all we know, the Dominion are part of the bloody Federation at this point, right?
Right.
And we're looking at a situation where it's like a twisted version of TNG's golden age. Everyone's rested on their laurels, and it's about to get real bad real quick. But let's make it a teenage comedy show. Okay?
Right.
We can see the effects that the Federation have had on species such as the Jem'Hadar woman, right? Or the lanky Klingon. What are they going to do to the Ferengi? Like, have a Ferengi character who transitions and has to cut pieces of their ear off or something?
Lord, hey man, they're taking Umak a little far there, Digny.
And rather than it being the Ferengi setting up daycares, it would be the Pakleds for obvious reasons. But it just this story to me is symptomatic, right? Starfleet Academy as a Star Trek story to me is symptomatic of everything that has gone wrong with the franchise. We all know the best Star Trek shows take about 2 to 3 years to actually find their rhythm. Back in the 80s and 90s, that was possible. It wasn't even possible to sustain that on television in the 2000s, never mind in the 2010s or 2020s. This is the problem a lot of Star Trek has to deal with. Unfortunately, it takes almost every Star Trek show 2 to 3 years to really find its rhythm. By the time it does, that's usually when it's on the verge of cancellation in this day and age.
Vorpal makes a good point. They pull an animal farm on the Ferengi and turn them in commies. Scooby, what are your thoughts on this?
When I first saw their
review
picture,
list?
when I first saw this picture, I thought it was a cross between Friends and Dawson's Creek. I was like,
Whoa!
Dawson's Creek.
I was
Good
like,
to
what
see
am
Al.
I-
Good to see Angel. Dawson.
I was like, what am I looking at?
Well played, Scooby.
In
Well
my
played.
opinion,
Wow.
the last that we had was Star Trek Next Generation. That was the last good Star Wars, in my personal opinion. Since then, Deep Space Nine, I mean, that was its hit or miss. Discovery, no. I mean, like, everything past the Next Generation was either very mid or just outright sucked.
Yep.
And the fact that they're doing this, it's like, are you trying to reach the younger generation who not only does not know anything about Star Trek but will never ever care about Star Trek? It's like, what the hell are you thinking? I mean, this is insane. I mean, if how should I put it? When I saw it, just like you guys, we're the Ferengis. I mean, we're the Romulans. I mean, what happened to all the good baddies? And I mean, like, what the hell's up with that Klingon? I'm sorry, dreadlocks.
Yeah.
A lot is a lot.
Scooby,
Scooby, what
how does it make you feel to know that based on I'm just looking at this Klingon and I know you. How does it make you feel knowing that you could beat this Klingon, I don't know, in a fight?
Arm wrestle. Are you kidding me? Scooby could probably stare him down.
All I have to do is growl at him and he will run away.
Hello?
Probably apologizing as he goes.
Probably apologize. Yeah, just fight.
All I have to do is look at him dirty, and he will run away. I am sorry, but he's been pussified.
Mumbling apologies for his toxic masculinity on the way.
Scooby Pup could probably stare down the Gem Hadar as well.
Oh yeah,
he's been pussified.
And it just
I'm glad
goes to show
she said it and not me.
there you
This
go.
is
I am a woman. I have the right to say it.
It's a very interesting, analysis though that you could easily turn into a Star Trek show, right? Under the premise of what if the Federation has no enemies anymore? What if the Federation has successfully integrated all of its former enemies to such a point that it becomes, Pax Romana? I don't know what the equivalent would be in Star Trek, but it gets to a point where the consequences of everyone being the part of the Federation start to take a toll, and that's what leads to the beginning of the end of the Federation, because you see it right there. You see it with the concept of the Gem Hadar woman. You see it with the concept of the Klingon. That's a Klingon, right, folks?
Right.
And it's a similar mindset although TNG was a far better show. It was a similar mindset portrayed in the very early episodes in the early seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation. And what broke that arrogance?
Borg.
It was the Borg.
Yep.
Which means they'd have to introduce a new villain that make the Borg look like, a pushover.
Well, see, here's the thing. They tried that in season 5 of Discovery and failed miserably. And what did they do? At the ending of the show, they sent the ship into the far, far future with that one guy that showed up in the Star Trek short that referred to the Federation as Vedresh. You guys remember that part? Well, what happened? What happened in the intervening between Star Trek Academy and that guy waking up on Discovery, who knows how many years into the future? Because we never got an answer as to how far into the future that little Star Trek short with the guy waking up inside of the Discovery ship with the uber intelligence. When in the future had that happened? But all we do know is that the Federation was no longer the Federation. Okay?
It morphed into something, because I understand the mindset, right, of something getting so big it has to fail. And I think that's where Star Trek should take themselves creatively, that the Federation has amalgamated so many species under its mindset that it's gotten to a point where the Federation has itself become like the Borg. And we have seen with the 3rd season of Picard how the similarities between the two caused such destruction that it nearly destroyed the Federation. I mean, Michael Eddington as a character made it clear during Deep Space Nine how the concept of the Federation, because he defected to the Maquis, how the mindset of the Federation was even more insidious than that of the Borg. So there's a lot of interesting places this franchise can go. This is not one of those interesting places, because this is not a critique of the Federation. No. This is praising it to its highest iota.
More interesting than Space Dawson's Creek. I stand corrected, by the way. Scooby, that is much, much better reference. The twee smiling faces, the Burger King Kids Club present here. Honestly, if they're going to reference things like, I don't know, previous iterations of Star Trek, shouldn't Lanky McGee here be purple and look like an angry grape? Didn't they redesign Klingons not long ago in the worst way imaginable?
They used to.
That would be somehow less embarrassing
if
he was at least purple.
Oh, Vorpal Bunny with the win comment of the moment. NCC 90210.
Because I saw one of the trailers for this Starfleet Academy. Of course, the Doctor was in that trailer. How he's scanning all of these recruits, and one of them, which is on screen on director's screen on the far right, apparently had worms. So in the 32nd century, right, or wherever this is being, staged, Starfleet recruits can still get worms. And eat their combat.
Seem like they're as good as they appear on the tin here, I suspect.
There you go.
Also, assuming it is, what a boring dystopic universe. You have to be exactly like Starfleet, following their exact same cultural norms, or else what did Starfleet purge them off screen?
Well, that's the interesting
a massive
narrative.
Genocide seems to have been called for.
Exactly. That's why when all of these franchises insert DEI folks into their prequels, they have to somehow explain creatively how there's no DEI in the originals, which means the only way you can properly explain it is that there was somehow, a genocide or a Holocaust during, the middle part. And you're seeing this in franchise after franchise after franchise, because that plot line is the only way to make sense of the fact that you have all of this, diversity in these more recent prequel projects. I know this is a sequel, but I'm referring to prequel projects that doesn't exist in the originals, right? And looking at this, I don't have high hopes. For all we know, the Romulans got exterminated, the Cardassians got exterminated, the Ferengi got exterminated, because who knows what would have happened in 700 years, narratively speaking. That's why time jumps that massive are a mistake, and that's why I was originally against the idea of Enterprise and Star Trek Enterprise, because let's not look back, let's look forward to the future. What happened after Voyager returned home? What happened when Praetor Shinzon finally met his end? What is the future of the Federation?
Absolutely. Well, we gotta maintain our schedule. Great conversation, everybody. That was fantastic. We had a super chat that crept in, so let's go ahead and take care of that, shall we?
Let's see if we have any super chats in the picture show.
All right, and that super chat is going to be from our good friend Roadkill 101, who gave us a fist bump and a heavy metal rock on. Heavy metal rock on to you, my friend. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. God bless you. Thank you. It's folks like you that's going to keep us going. And H. Thrun, time to make dinner. A pleasure. Good to see you again. Good to see you. I very rarely see you. It's a pleasure to have you here there, H. Thrun. Welcome back. Welcome back. And thank you for everybody tuning in. We're sitting at 27. We had 30 people in here at one point. Thank you. The channel growth is working, folks, and we are definitely going to keep on going and keep on growing, as a good friend and a wise man likes to say. So let's go ahead and get back to it, shall we? And shout out to Canadian Spider-Man out there for also helping keeping things well and good and moderated for everybody tonight. You've been busy with fantasy football. So I see. All right, folks. So that's going to wrap up our Hollywood segment. Let's get into, for lack of the better word, legal actions in a studio that is known for making games that involve committing crimes. Here is our first bit of gaming news. And I forgot my final message about our Trek coverage. I have two things of point of note before we get to this. My apologies. I'm not even reading my schedule today. First is I have a friend by the name of JRC99US who can, for pittance in comparison, get you all of the original runs of Star Trek through Enterprise unmodified, as intended, as broadcasted, and the animated series, I think, as well. All you have to do is send him your zip drive. So if there's anybody that is interested in that, please reach out to me via DMs on Discord, or please reach out to me on my email, and we'll do our best to hook you up. Because again, what we have is ours. It's truly ours. For those of you that still want some very Roddenberry faithful Star Trek entertainment in the 21st century, there's this game called Star Trek Resurgence that I have seen played that is very faithful to that continuity and timeline. So I also highly recommend that if you want some new Star Trek in your life, but you want to have that old world class and style, to seek out Star Trek Resurgence. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to our gaming news here. So Rockstar's battle with Union over fired developers goes to court. The developer of the GTA franchise is being challenged in court over the dismissal of devs late last year. This is part of an ongoing story of a lot of people that have been laid off. Near the end of October 2025, Rockstar fired over 30 developers in the United Kingdom and Canada over what is called gross misconduct. The Independent Workers Union of Great Britain accused Rockstar of union busting for laying off workers who were organizing with the union. Both sides have held firm since the initial accusations, and now the battle has gone to court in the United Kingdom. As reported by Video Games Chronicle, Rockstar and the IWGB went before court earlier this week, where the latter requested that the fired workers be given interim relief While the legal drama plays out, if granted, that would place the affected workers back on Rockstar's payroll and allow some to keep their visas that were reliant on their jobs. The court will reportedly decide on the matter before the end of the week. The IWGB pledged to continue fighting for the workers regardless of the court's decision, while Rockstar reiterated its position that the workers broke the company's policy. We have consistently made it clear that we took necessary action against a group of individuals across the UK and Canada who discussed highly confidential information, including relating to a game features from upcoming and unannounced titles and an insecure and public social channel. A Rockstar spokesperson told IGN this was a breach of long-standing and well-understood confidentiality policies. The channel contained at least 25 non-Rockstar employees, including employees of competitor game developers, video games industry journalists, as well as dozens of anonymous, unidentifiable members. Meanwhile, employees who were posted union-supportive messages but who did not reach confidentiality policies were not dismissed. There is some question as to whether the alleged break of confidentiality had anything to do with Grand Theft Auto 6. A report from November 2025 noted that the employees in question shared details about Rockstar's rule changes for Slack. They eliminated most of the personnel and non-work channels. That story has also stated that Rockstar's internal security is so tight that employees can't even check their work emails unless they are in office. This case may boil down to whether Rockstar can prove that the employees shared sensitive details that violated their terms of employment. The case has drawn a considerable amount of attention worldwide. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and MP Chris Murray have both pledged to look into it, but the legal battle may take a long time to play out. This is a case of snitches get fired on one side, and oh my God, we're just talking among colleagues on the other. We're not a union. It really is a bunch of hearsay against one and evidence against the other, but we all can confirm that there might just be some GTA 6 intel in there because once again, without fanfare, it has been delayed. Shocker there. What are your thoughts on this, Marcelo? And I will be right back.
I think it's about time, to be honest with you. Okay, the gaming companies for many years have brought on folks with lofty goals, lured developers with specific set of skills, with promises of this, that, the other thing, sold them on the concepts, thrown more and more onto their plates, and yet invariably treated developers like widget makers, okay, not artists. And this is a situation where, for however they were able to pull it off, they have found themselves in a situation where they're being able to call themselves a class. And I say, God bless them and Godspeed. Pure and simple. Simple. Bring it on.
Well, thank you for that perspective, Son of Mars. We appreciate you, and we also appreciate everyone watching. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome.
Absolutely. And I have returned, and I missed all of his point, unfortunately. If I could get a synopsis, that'd be great.
Basically, I wait with bated breath for the court to teach the gaming companies a lesson.
Absolutely.
I can boil it down. Workers of the world, unite.
And this coming from a non-communist, Digny.
Exactly. Okay? Exactly.
There's a товарищ to seize the means of production. No, anyway, director, your turn.
Didn't they say in the UK?
Yeah.
Yes.
That changes a lot of context on that point. Also, something else that changed a lot of context for me personally is visas. This is to keep them in the country on visas. So Rockstar was not employing the locals.
No.
Which makes me wonder, visas from where? Where do they come from? And why?
Canada,
was it part of a DEI push? Because if that was the case, then they really went out of the way to bring this upon themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking any downfall is earned 3 different ways, at least.
Agreed.
further-
I think a lot of those
Do you-
visas are from Canada, in my opinion, because apparently they are. There's some Canadian chatter between the UK branch and the Canada branches. They're both involved, if I were to guess. Again, this is unfounded and unbased, but based on what the article, I'm assuming
that
what
is
the
correct.
article's message.
I must admit, if I was in the UK on a visa from Canada, I might, in my ignorance of the proper state of the UK, be inclined to fight being sent back.
Right. Good to see Sir Crocodile. Hail to you, sir. Welcome. I spoke pseudo-Russian poorly for the sake of comedic effect.
I thought it was Italian, but never mind.
Well,
no, I mean, for folks in the chat, I've said, look, if you want better games, okay, you want people who are going to come in and have a drive and desire to produce a quality product, stuff that Scooby was talking about in podcast. Okay, I'm going to play off of that, and I know it's not my segment, but I'm stepping up behind the director to undergird his position. If you want people who are going to come in and do a quality job and give you a quality game, okay, you've got to give them the space and the opportunity to do so. Behavior like this on the part of gaming companies is not conducive to quality developers believing enough in gaming companies to pursue this stuff. They'll go do something else. Okay. But if you want quality games, you want this to move forward. I'll be honest with you.
Our next article is going to be covering some quality games coming down the line. And they're not even that expensive. This is the era of the independent game studio. Because AAA game studios have become so convoluted and so they're buckling under the weight of their own hubris at this point. There's nowhere to go from the AAA game studios besides another clone of a game that you played last year for $70 to $80 physical, which again, that's dated information for me now, because apparently now it's like $100 digital downloads is like the standard for a game these days.
Yep.
I'd rather go and fire up Unreal Tournament 99 on my PC and play that for absolutely free with the mods that I worked on 30 freaking years ago. Then buy $100 digital download on a game that's going to come to me incomplete, buggy, glitchy, and obviously not going to work. Yeah, I mean that's what these digital downloads are nowadays, Top Hat. Like there's again, this is all part of the message. Everybody has a main character syndrome in all of these big shot areas. These main character reviewers, Dave Filoni, now the main character, president of Lucasfilm. It's all a repeating pattern of main character syndrome. So we have to start disengaging from that and take what is ours, take what we treasure, and go in a different direction, because eventually everybody's going to know, hey, the solution to main character syndrome by somebody else is what? Main character syndrome from us?
What's worse, I'm pretty sure I'm not a main character. I'm more of a side character. The Andy Richter equivalent, really.
Well, Daffy Duck in a lot of ways is a main character, so don't ever purposely put yourself into a B-list position if you have the talent to be an A-lister. Let's be real. Digny, we've covered a little bit of your thoughts on this already, but is there anything else you would like to add to this?
Oh, this is an Alien versus Predator situation. Whoever wins, we, the people, gamers, will lose. I'm amazed Rockstar is still based in the UK, considering that, let's face it, Rockstar mostly makes American games for an American audience. Let's just face facts here, okay? You look at Red Dead Redemption, you look at GTA, go far enough back, you look at Bully, right? These games are tailor-made for Western audiences, primarily American audiences. So if Rockstar lose, in this situation, then they're just going to pack their bags and go to the United States. In regards to the whole visa thing, yes, I think most of them are coming from Canada. I think some of them are coming from the US as well, because it doesn't make much commercial sense to be based in 3 different places at once: the UK,
Right.
Canada, and also in the US. I'm of the opinion that no matter what happens in this situation, Rockstar are going to move from their ancestral home in Scotland. They've seen the writing on the wall in the UK, and we have to understand that trade union protections are far more powerful in Europe than they are in the US. I mean, still to this day, in some parts of the US, you even say trade union, and everyone thinks you're a Chinese puppet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what Rockstar is going to do moving forward, because of the fact that so many European countries now, and even Canada, are not pro-business, right? They're not pro-business. And now more than ever, the lifeblood of any economy is in being pro-business, especially when you have, let's face it, folks, other countries that have no workers' rights that are beating the hell out of Western companies in terms
Right.
of quantity and increasingly quality as well.
Well, nothing says motivation than having something that you can eat when you're done with your 18-hour shift. Scooby, what are your thoughts?
Well, considering that, given the way things are in England, where you can, just get arrested for having individual thinking, I think that the court will already take Rockstar's side, because they're the bigger business. They probably most likely won't care about the smaller people. So I think this is probably wasted time.
I have to
And
disagree with that notion.
please do before I go any further.
Elaborate.
Mainly because of the fact that the trade union movement in the United Kingdom is one of the main factions that support the present administration. Without the trade unions, this present administration in the UK wouldn't have a leg to stand on. And look, it's pretty unpopular with almost everyone at the moment. The one group they're not unpopular with is with the trade union movement. So I think, quite frankly, the opposite decision is more likely, and the courts will be more pro trade union, which will drive Rockstar to be like, well, guess I'll go abroad. Guess I'll go to Canada. Guess I'll go to the United States. In the US's case, is far more pro-business than it is in the UK. I mean, even uttering the term trade union in America seems a bit dirty. So please continue.
I still think that Rockstar will have the upper hand in this. Also, I mean, like this, how should I put it? They have a good history as it is. I mean, things didn't get this bad until recently. So I would say they have the upper hand in this. I really do honestly think that the court's going to take their side. Now, I know what you said about trade unions, but also, money does talk. And what I mean in this case by money does talk, I mean like Rockstar has the money to get those lawyers that are up there in the higher place that can, they have the money for those business lawyers that, the other the trade unions and stuff won't be able to afford. So like I said, I do believe that this particular situation is a waste of time. Personally, I believe that when it comes to the visas, in my opinion, I think most of the people are coming from the US than they are from Canada. And
Well,
as far
that's,
as GTA and as far as GTA 6 goes, I don't think it's going to come out until the end of the world. And
Oh,
even
yeah.
even if it did come out soon,
you know,
even if it did come out soon, I still don't think sales number wise and player numbers.
Yeah. I
don't think it'll
Nukem's
do any better than GTA 5.
Half-Life 3
Yeah.
confirmed. We're gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're finally gonna get it, guys. Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3's coming. And you
Yeah.
know, now that I'm on the subject, we can also say that Fallout 5 is going to come out before GTA 6. I think. Well, let's just start a Deadpool. I think we should just start like a pseudo Deadpool with Monopoly money.
No.
And just
I just think we should.
No.
I think we should just start taking maybe even start taking bets. But I think GTA, despite GTA 6, and I know it's going to be bought by a lot of people just because of the IP. I think people are still going to go back to GTA 5 because GTA 5 made a shit ton of money, and it was their bread and butter for a very long time. So I think people are still going to be going back to GTA 5 for far longer than they'll be invested in GTA 6.
Well, GTA 5 already has all the mods that I want, you know, like the superhero mods that I plan on like making content with at some point. Hail to the good Still Cycle Dwarf 9 out there. It's a pleasure to see you, brother. And Sig Valdison, it's a pleasure to see you as well, sir. Thank you for swinging by.
I'd just
money
like to
for nothing. Yeah.
I'd just like to make the point, right? I know for a fact GTA 6 will make bank because Starfield did. Okay?
Yes.
Starfield made $750 million US in a few months, and they managed to get up to $1 billion US within a year of its release. All GTA 6 needs is a solid quarter to really ramp up sales, and it will more than justify all the funds that went into the project originally. It may not have the same cultural impact as GTA 5, not even by a country mile, but as a result of the Starfield effect, it will ensure that future Rockstar projects get all the funding they need. Just like with Bethesda, the success of Starfield, all the funding for that, all the profit from Starfield has gone straight in to Bethesda's future projects. The key one being Elder Scrolls 6.
Which is what I'm saying about Grand Theft Auto. It's a very popular, very, very popular IP, and because just the IP itself will make bank. People are familiar with GTA. They know its history. They're happy. They're glad. They think all the get past games rock. They're going to see a new GTA. They're going to say, "Oh, hey, another GTA." They're going to automatically buy it because it's the IP. The IP is what sells, in my opinion. The IP and the history of that IP is going to make help it make a lot of money. Now, after the game is bought, after all that money is made, well, that's going to be a totally different story. But IP is intellectual property.
Well, I was going to answer, but you were on to that. I figured. But anyway, I digress.
But
go ahead and finish
there's
your
a
thoughts,
lot of
Scooby.
material for that Deadpool of yours.
Because
a lot.
Because it's such a big and such a popular IP, it will make all that money. Will it keep all of the players? Well, in their mind, they probably won't care because they've made the money from the sales. They've gotten what they've wanted. As far as Rockstar going downhill or anything like that, I don't ever see that happening. Bethesda Studios, why do they keep making money? Well, they have history with previous games like Fallout, and then they didn't put out much, but when they put out Starfield, everybody's like, "Oh yay, another Bethesda game, woohoo!" Next thing you know, it's getting sold. What happened? Oh man, this game sucks. For a while it was good, but then after a while it got those beautiful glitches.
Right.
Because
So-
Starfield doubled down on all the Bethesda tropes
Yes,
that
it did.
were perfectly fine 10, 20 years ago. But let's face it, the Ubisoft effect. You can't just keep making the same game for decades with
Yes.
a reskinned element and expect to get away with it. And the same will eventually apply with GTA, even if GTA 6 is a success, even if Red Dead Redemption 3 is a success, even if whatever the hell they go from there is a success. You cannot just keep making the same type of game and expect
Mhm.
people to swallow it, because we've seen what's happened with Ubisoft on that same premise.
Yeah,
And that's
Far
what I love
Cry
about-
with a different skin.
Yep.
Far
Mhm.
Cry
What I
meets Fallout. Far Cry meets Redneck, Wisconsin. Far Cry in the jungle. Far Cry in the desert. Far Cry
this
is a
is,
1980s, action movie spoof. Right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and this is
I really like
this
that
is
one,
the
though, to
perfect-
be fair.
Yeah, I do love Blood Dragon's the best one out of all of my opinions.
Without a doubt. But when it comes to the amount of Bethesda's wrong steps, I have to say that
Mhm.
you might get away with releasing a game that is a bit samey and a bit buggy, where you do have a healthy modding community that's willing to not only fix the game, but make it vastly more interesting for you.
Mhm.
Whereas Bethesda has seemingly succumbed to this inane narcissistic compulsion to either prevent modders or stop everyone who's not making mods that they can then charge for, completely failing to grasp that the people doing it for free are what made their games not only successful, but very, 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 very long.
Well,
lived.
not only that, but also you got to remember that AAA devs now they have their formula. They think, oh, this works, so we'll keep doing it. We'll keep doing it over and over. Basically, the reskinning, like you mentioned. But because of all that, they get overconfident. They get lazy, and they'll rely on things like AI. And not only that, is some of the people that they've already hired. They'll start hiring people that don't know what they're doing. So they're taking the lazy route. So when it comes to games, the best types of games to get out there right now, I mean, this is the perfect time. As I said in my show, and as Marcello mentioned, this is the perfect time for indie games because indie's putting their
Yes.
heart and soul into their
We're
games.
going to be covering an upcoming title, as well as plugging a multi-channel project called Mash 'em Up Mondays, where where a lot of us, including Scooby and myself, can be seen just playing, some of these great arcade beat 'em ups that we got coming up here down the line. And that's a good way to segue into our next article here. Indeed. And hiring incompetent people is the cornerstone of many huge YouTube channel. That is true. It's also one of the reasons why a lot of these bigger channels are becoming more and more stagnant in their approach, as well as trying to hold on to ideals instead of evolving and taking tentative, risky steps to growing their efforts. When is GTA 6 coming out? Right after Half-Life 3 and Fallout 5.
And Duke Nukem Forever.
And Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh,
Yeah,
that came out, but I don't blame you for having forgotten it.
It comes out after my 100th birthday, which is quite a while away.
Oh yeah.
I remember Duke Nukem Forever, and I wish I didn't.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our next article. This is the second part of our gaming coverage for the evening, and it's time for a little bit of good news because again, we're transitioning away from bitching about everything and just talking about cool things like what's coming up right now. All right. 2 1980s toy-driven games you can play now and add to your Steam wish list. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. You see that cover photo, and you know who's going to be playing this game with Skeletor as Skeletor, right? You know that's coming. That is a guarantee. Skeletor will be playing this He-Man game. The beat 'em up is having a moment. The classic arcade game style, side-scrolling action, wave after wave of enemy leading to a level-ending boss battle has been the center of a lot of nostalgia-driven titles lately. Leading the charge is the recently released Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which I've already leveled up my Iron Man and Captain America, but then again, I'm a bit biased. Developed by Tribute Games with character designs and animations heavily influenced by the classic 90s era Capcom fighting games like Marvel Superheroes and Marvel vs. Capcom. Puts a whole cast of Marvel heroes, including two of its greatest tactical minds and villains together in a sprawling intergalactic adventure. It was unfortunately so short. I beat it in like 3 hours. I was not even that long. I was very sad. But two games in particular combine the beat 'em up style with a distinct eye towards the 80s and more specifically towards fans of the toys and cartoons of the 80s. One of them is available to buy and play right now. The other has been teasing a 2026 debut that has fans giddy with anticipation. I want a Steam release of this game so bad it hurts. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra is not on Steam, and this upsets me. First G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, originally released near the end of 2024 and is available to purchase and download on the PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. This game scratches both the nostalgia gaming niche with the toy collector niche, because in many ways, G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra goes even further than the cartoon series by bringing the actual look and feel of the classic Joe vehicles and figures to life. That's right! Shooting at his tanks! Getting on the VAMP on the gunner pod of the Vamp. My God, why? Why, man? Just why? Why can't this be on Steam? First, you choose your hero from the initial roster of 4. Duke, Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Roadblock. Each has a unique fighting style and a special move. Duke is a two-fisted brawler who rains down bombs as a super attack. Roadblock is a lumbering but powerful giant that can unleash a devastating minigun attack. Scarlet is agile and shocks enemies into submission, while Snake Eyes' precision sword attacks are sometimes helped by the appearance of Timber. Yes, his wolf companion that originally appeared as a figure in 1985. There are 2 additional unlockable characters you can earn by collecting the floppy disks left behind by vanquished enemies, which is also a nice 80s touch. As you play through locales based on the animated series, you encounter Cobra enemies like the robotic bats, the Crimson Guard, and others, as well meticulously recreated vehicles that look exactly like the toys, including the Cobra ATVs, the Hiss! The Hiss! My favorite bad guy vehicle of all time, the Hiss tank. And I was so glad when they made a Megatron and made his alt mode a Hiss tank. I was over the moon. Flight pods and even the Snake armored suits filled with plenty of Easter eggs. Note how the cardboard cutout Cobra soldiers in the G.I. Joe HQ firing range are posed exactly like the package illustration on the original Cobra soldier action figure. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra is available for just $25, which is the perfect price range for this kind of game. Perfect price range. I cannot express this enough. Look at that. Yeah, the cardboard cutouts of the shooting range, that is just a 1-to-1 copy of the Cobra targets. While it whets your appetite, get ready for the eventual 2026 debut of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. Also, oh my God, the content I'm going to make with Skeletor playing this. Developed by Limited Run Games with a playstyle reminiscent of the classic arcade style Golden Axe, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction puts you in control of He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, and Orko. I would like to see an Orko player. I'm not playing as Orko. That character is annoying, but I'm pretty sure he's probably going to have like a lot of like support attacks or something. Against the evil forces of Skeletor and his minions, I expect Trapjaw to be the first fight, but who knows? All of whom wield some legendary weapons, borrowing from both the classic animated series as well as the iconic toy line. The game promises to be a retro blast that hits a sweet spot between classic arcade game fans, toy collectors, and 80s cartoon enthusiasts. Yeah. And of course, this is on top of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that just recently came out. Shredder's Revenge a couple of years ago. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Revenge. Marvel Cosmic Invasion just last year. Like, we're getting all of these kick-ass beat-em-ups. And this is now my segment into plugging for Mash 'em Up Mondays, which we are occasionally going to be a part of whenever I'm free on Monday night to join in to punch pixelated bad guys as any of our old school heroes. I'm super stoked. I'm absolutely... The content is going to be golden. Absolutely. Skeletor playing as He-Man is going to be epic. But I want to hear what you guys think. Finally, some good news. Finally, something to actually be pumped about instead of just complaining about Lucasfilm and Paramount all damn day. See? It's a good sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
I'm just thinking it's about doggone time.
yeah.
Get some just plain good playable games that you can just, I'll just say it this way. Take out a little whatever pent up frustration you got during the day for a few hours, put the doggone thing down, and then come back to it whenever you're righty well please. Okay? And
Absolutely.
if you're gonna do it for the price of a price of a large pizza, that's pretty good, man. I mean,
that's something that you could enjoy while eating a large pizza.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not going to break your bank. And it's not going to break your bank. It's not these $100 AAA titles where people are literally going to court against one another over.
Look,
it's
you know what? It's what I was telling you in the green room. Okay, it's what the people need is a thing to make them smile. It's easy if you know how. Well, folks, this is how. Not everything has to be on the level of Arc Raiders, which is a No Man's Sky ripoff, in my opinion. But as long as you've got something that demonstrates its playability again and again and again for a reasonable price, people will come. People will buy that. Okay? People will buy that. And honestly, I think that's a good reset.
Yeah.
I really do. I really, really do.
It's a step in the right direction. It
Absolutely.
really is. And I can't wait to have Skeletor totally make fun of He-Man every time he dies. I'm getting that game, even if I have to do a bonus stream to get the money to buy that game.
And that brings up a good point. There are so many available franchises that they could do this with. Okay? There's so many franchises that they could do this with. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go this way. How about a good 2.5D Wolfenstein game?
Oh, Wolfenstein would be fun to go through.
A simple 2.5D Wolfenstein game for $29.95.
Oh Lord!
Right there. There's the gauntlet. There's the gauntlet right there.
There's the I'm thinking of the Vince McMahon meme where he's getting more and more elated with every new detail. It's and then at the end for $29.99, he's like, oh.
Yeah, like Chrono says, it's Wolfenstein. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Frankenstein.
Stein.
Yeah, where you hear the broken audio, and the crazy dogs just flapping their mouths back and forth. I mean, jeez.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. All right, director, how's this for good news? Will you join us on these Mash 'em Up Mondays in the future?
If I can possibly do it, I would like to, because I've got a huge soft spot for multiplayer cooperative, well, pretty much everything really. But I have very, very fond memories of things like Golden Axe, and I have to say, Metal Slug meets G.I. Joe sounds absolutely legendary. In particular,
very Metal Slug.
I don't know how it will actually pan out in practice, but I would absolutely love to participate. And if you need someone to play Orko, provided he doesn't talk too much, I like his style was pretty solid.
You've got an Orko player. Awesome possum. Right on. I wonder who the two unlockables are. That's crazy to think about.
Curious as well. Maybe they'll pull Vampire Hunters in the very end. Skeletor has regrets and decides to take down his own evil empire.
I will destroy my own evil army for entertainment purposes.
If he loses control of it, he probably would. As for the game devs, I would say actually lowering the price further would be wise. Take some more notes from Hollow Knight and Silk Song. They need to stop aiming for infinite money. Isn't massive crap tons of money sufficient? Why should it be infinite money forever?
if you make a good product and make enough money from your crap tons of finite money, then guess what? You have enough money to invest and still have crap tons of finite money put back to make another thing that you can make crap tons of finite money with. This is what we like to call supply and demand.
Yeah, and your likelihood to get investors to give you money to make good because they're going to make at least enough of crap ton money to pay back. Okay, they'll do that. Okay, they'll do that.
Absolutely. Digny, what are your
enthusiastic.
thoughts, Mike? Yeah, me too. Me too. I cannot wait. Digny, what are your thoughts, my friend?
Well, I'm standing up now, folks. I managed to sit down. I managed to sit down for nearly an hour and a half. But people crave the arcades, folks, and I think this topic is living proof of that. People crave arcade gaming, and they want it. They want to own it at affordable prices. Okay, so I think that's where we're heading. I mean, the idea of a most nostalgic arcade game as a genre penetrating the zeitgeist. If people want it, then let's embrace it, right? Let that be the standard moving forward, right? And if you put enough 2D things together, you can make it 3D, okay? The Atari Jaguar is proof of that, although it didn't succeed. So there you go. I'm fully in favor of this, especially if it lowers the cost of games. And we also have to understand with the price hikes in CPUs, GPUs, and RAMs and things like that, this is going to become the standard. Optimization will have to be forced on these companies because people's systems won't be able to keep upgrading because of the price hikes. Right. That's all I have to say.
Well, people's systems aren't going to be upgrading if people are going to have less and less money and instead turn back to buying these games at $25 a pop and having a good time with them, and then going on platforms like YouTube, Kick, and Twitch and just be able to play with their friends for like pennies on the dollar compared to investing in RAM chips that are going to be, you know, incredibly expensive as we go further into 2026 and, you know, getting the next big video card that you could literally mine cryptocurrency with just to play a game that you're going to get sick of in a couple of hours that also puts you back about $120. I mean, the writing's on the wall, people. The AAA game era is coming to a close.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah. Fingers crossed. Scoob, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought the AAA game era came to a close in 2024.
It really did. I mean, yeah.
But sadly, I don't exactly have that many games to do for Mash Mondays. If anything, as far as you guys go, I probably only have 2.
Which are?
One is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and the other one is the one that's Dan had me buy. Forgot the name of it already.
Streets of Rage 4.
Yes, Dan had me buy that, and
he hooked me up with the code for it.
And I told Pouty about it, and Pouty was like, "We're not supposed to play that anytime soon." Because LG Gilmer was having some problems trying to figure it out. And then again, if he joins, then I won't be able to join anyways. So, because it's a very limited amount of people who can join. So yeah, I'd only be able to join for any racing game. And if I do recall, you're not much of a racer.
Well, unless there's guns strapped to my car and missile pods and I'm blowing up the other cars while I'm racing, yeah.
You can do that kind of stuff. You can even saw your your enemy's car in half.
I'm talking about Mad Max and Twisted Metal style.
Yeah, I know.
That's the kind of automotive carnage I go for. Carmageddon.
Yeah, so I doubt.
Vigilante 8.
Yeah, so I doubt I'll be
Halloween
ever be doing
75.
any gaming with you other than trolling you if you ever go back to.
We will be bringing back some of the Doom gameplay, as that is now the unlockable for DEF CON 4 and Stark's Thursday matinee, since the demand for Radio 616 has become so over the top. Tuesday is now dedicated to Radio 616 full-time alongside Alpha After Hours after Taco Tuesday. That's just going to become the permanent run for Tuesday now.
I gotta say, lowering the cost of games and stuff, and a lot of companies that are doing this stuff right now anyways are the indie companies. Like I said, the indie companies are the ones you really got to look to nowadays. Like some games I would love to see come back. I would love to see Beautiful Joe come back. I'd love to see another Earthworm Jim game.
I want to see another Earthworm Jim game. Oh my God.
Earthworm Jim was great. I loved him. I mean, some of those classic games.
I hated the Pete levels though. They were so rage-inducing.
I mean, those games were absolutely fun. I mean, when you come to the childhood, I mean, look at how well they did with Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is an example of how well you can do a game for a low price as well. So this does look awesome. If I, depending on how much I have, I may get it, but I already have a lot on the back burner. I really do.
I know you do. I know you do. But like I said, Mash 'em Up Mondays.
As far as
kids.
Yeah, as far as Mash 'em Up Mondays, like I said, Steam wise, I have next to no games. I mean, all my stuff is on the PlayStation because that's I'm primarily a PS5, and most of the stuff that I play on the PlayStation is like local couch and not fully cross-play unless you count Warframe and such. So
Angel Dust 45 says, Tony, Emily's ex is fucked up. Well, I only have 3 words to tell Emily's ex. Fuck off somewhere. And that is what you need to tell them. And that's all I got to say on that. We really aren't a relationship advice channel, but in my experience, I would say that if they ain't worth your time, then don't waste any time on them.
I once thought about having a dating call-in advice so I can just give the worst advice possible and hopefully all people laugh about it. The problem is finding enough people to actually show up because they're far easier to invent.
Right.
But yeah, I would. I'm glad to see games like this coming out. I mean, we need more games like this, even if they're just retro. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're retro or just flat out modern day games. Lower the price, make them good, and we will buy them. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, I remember back in the day of having to work hard for those unlockable characters. You found out there were unlockable characters. You wanted to work hard for them.
I remember unlockable characters. Unlocking a boss for Mortal Kombat, for example.
I mean,
prime example.
I'm going to put this moment and sound old. I really am. The modern generation is so damn lucky for the autosaves and everything, whereas we from the older generation,
32-digit
when it was game over, it was game over. We had no save points.
Unless you wanted to input a 32-digit password, if you were lucky.
If you had it was game over. You had to start over. You had 3 lives. You go through those lives. Guess what? You're not going to be getting more unless you restart the game.
See, the get good mentality that has been lost in modern gaming.
This is where the get good comes from. Okay.
Exactly.
Or you find the exploit level where you get 2 more lives in the same level, grab the 2 lives, and then kill yourself, and then repeat until you've got enough lives to get through the game.
Yeah. So in the games back then, it was get good. That is really how it was.
I think,
and I miss games. I actually miss games like that too.
I think the beginning of the end for games that really required skill was it started with Halo Combat Evolved when they give you a rechargeable shield that you can hide behind cover in. Because up to Halo, my first person shooters relied on health packs. There was no regenerating health. There was no Call of Duty, I'm Wolverine bleeding out of my eyes effect. Oh, I just got filled up with like 10 to 12 bullets, but all I got to do is bleed out my screen a little bit and I'm fine. No, man.
Yeah,
There was this thing called an HP bar. There was a thing called bullets hurt. There was a thing called you will die if you are dumb.
There was a thing called There was a thing that called bosses that made you cry.
Yeah.
We need games like that again. I really think we do. We need games like that.
A lot of these, quote, pro gamers, end quote, to a little thing called ghouls and ghosts and see how well they do.
Yeah. They think they know everything about gaming. They think they're the world's great gift to gaming. No,
Play ghouls and ghosts and come back. Beat ghouls and ghosts. And I mean, really
play Duck Hunt and tell us how you did. Play Oregon Trail and tell us how you did. Play the original, the very original.
Again?
As a counterpoint, this will also explain to you why we do have auto saves and regular saves, because people, including me, got a bit tired of that.
Or at least bring back the save cards that PlayStation 2 used. At least bring those. Bring us something like that.
The SNES run of Lion King and Aladdin.
The Lion King.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I never got past the lamp level. I never got past Genie's lamp in Aladdin. Couldn't do it.
It's one thing, the one thing that there was only one time. I mean, there was only one thing that could make me cry by Disney in the early days. Their video games. Their video games were so ridiculously hard.
The only way that I was able to beat Genie's lamp was using this little thing, unironically enough, called a Game Genie. So I thought that was hilarious. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and fire this bad boy up with the Game Genie. And I actually had a Game Genie very early on in my SNES playthrough career, because this is back when I was a kid. And I very rarely used it.
I never actually got one, but I wanted one.
Wow.
I have to say that if you
got mine.
My consolation is was resorting to emulation, and that basically comes with a Game Genie. And that's how I got to finally see how some stories ended.
So yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of some of these indie game companies, is they're giving us all that, the lower game prices, the better gameplay, all of that stuff. They're giving us what we had in our childhood and what we expect, what we want. And from what I can see, this is going to be one of those moments. It's where they're going to give us what we expect, what we want. And like I said, Terminator 2, oh my God, that game turned out amazing.
T2D is amazing. I've yet to beat it because I'm playing. I never start on easy. I always play it through on normal. Got past the Cyberdyne, not the Cyberdyne level, the Future War level. I can't beat the Psych Ward. I can't escape the Psych Ward yet.
Oh God! My mom, she was like, "So, do you know what happens in the game?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw the movie." So, and that is one of the great things is Terminator 2. That is one of the few video games out there that's based on a movie that they got so right.
Oh yeah. And I love that the fact that they're still throwing in an alt ending. Like if you do certain things as Sarah Connor, you basically go off script and you have a totally new future outcome.
Oh yeah, when you get to play as John Connor.
And you get to play as John. Yeah.
I love that. That was that looks so. I love that. That looks so cool to me. I told Furious Dan one time that they should have made what would have made the game even more awesome is if they had as an unlockable, unlock the first Terminator movie as a game, or come out, or at least if they're going to do a DLC for it, make it the first Terminator movie. That would be awesome.
Since you've all compelled me to absurd nostalgia, if I could ask real quick, has anyone else beaten TurboGrafx 16 games? In particular, Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge. Those are dear to me.
Oh, Bonk is a name I've not heard in a long time.
I've not heard a name I have not heard in a long time.
Gotta be gotta be Obi-Wan here.
Yeah. Played, yes. Beaten, no. I had a
never
friend.
Never beaten, but played.
Yeah. I had a friend who probably still has his. And he was the only guy that I knew that had a TurboGrafx back in the day. Never finished any of the games on that thing.
You can't hear it, but I'm listening to TurboGrafx 16 game music right now.
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
Oh,
you want to talk about deep cut games, though? Let's go back to the Sega Genesis with a little title called Toe Jam and Earl. Oh my God.
I never liked
that was so fun. It was
now for that game, I didn't like the title or the names, but I loved the game.
Yeah. Toe Jam and Earl. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up, I think, this segment. What do you guys think? We got a couple more articles to cover, and then of course we still have our fun segment, which is going to be fun because it's going to be a little take on what we're watching, and we're all going to bring a show or a movie forward. It could be anything; it's just something you love, and we could talk about that for a little bit, and then we'll wrap up the show. We've got our odd news coming up next, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, when this ran across my eyes, the first thing I thought was of a conversation that I had on King Dolphin as Alistair. Alistair was doing his New Year's tour, just guesting on a bunch of shows back at the ass end of 2025. And Dalek451 was talking about a close shave, which of course is about a sheep that escapes the loom, pretty much. And so when I saw that 50 sheep escaped Shepherd and walk into a grocery store, I'm like, oh my God, it's like a cut right out of a close shave. This happened yesterday, people. A flock of about 50 sheep escaped from their owner while being herded and took a shopping trip to a nearby supermarket in Germany. A video taken at the Penny Supermarket in Bergsen, Lower Franconia, I hope I'm saying these right, shows dozens of sheep flooding into the store through the front doors, causing chaos inside the store and leaving a trail of destruction and poop in their wake. Local police confirmed the incident. Shepherd Dieter Mickler said the sheep had broken away from the larger flock he had been herding through the area en route to Seine River. Mickler said the sheep had apparently been distracted by acorns on the ground in the store's parking lot and then went inside to search more snacks. Said the sheep were safely reunited with the rest of the flock. When I arrived, they were already out in the store. Now they're back with the flock, Mickler told the Maine Post newspaper. So interesting that people are still herding their animals in parts of the world. This is the funny thing is people are, this just goes back to how, things are, we take a lot of things for granted. There's parts of the world where people are still herding their animals down the main highway. And this is the kind of stuff that they're shrugging off, that they're laughing off. They laughed this off. I mean, obviously there was nothing ill or malicious that came of it, but it's a funny story about how easily sheep can split off from the herd. And I thought it was also a good nod towards a close shave, which Alistair was discussing with Dalek451 about a week and a half ago. What do you think about this article there, Marcelo?
I'm just thinking to myself that the butcher at that store missed an incredible opportunity. I mean, they were here, I mean,
they ate your property.
What else? What else did you expect me to do?
How do you know he didn't miss the opportunity? How do you know he didn't keep up?
He's like, Well, I mean, if the shepherd's worth his weight in salt, he's going to be able to count the head of sheep he lost.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, look, I mean, the sheep wandered into the back. I mean,
he could have kept a couple, and then a couple of days later, you'd see a sale on blankets and stuff like that.
Got this
and the sign would say limited time.
Oh yeah,
true. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm also caught up to the fact that that this stuff happens in a non-rural area. I mean, this sounds like this happened in a small town. Yes, but
not. I mean, it's small enough for you to be able to herd your sheep down main drag, but also at the same time, it's large enough for people to immediately call the police and get news coverage on it. So
yeah. But
so it's like right in the middle. It's in the sweet spot, right, of civilization.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is the butcher had a case for plausible deniability. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I wasn't the one that planted the acorns. That was all you.
Yeah, man.
At least that's how this guy would spin it.
Right. Exactly.
And yes, pork chop and bacon is divine. Absolutely divine.
Absolutely.
I could just imagine the butcher being beer drunk coming in and going, "Oh, looks like the shipment came in early."
Yeah, true, exactly.
Yeah. It seems to me they must have really skimped on the border collies here. I mean, a proper set of border collies would have really prevented this. Maybe were some of them sick? Was it an off day? Where are the much typically smarter dogs?
Right.
That said, it's good that everyone can laugh this off. That's how everyone should handle most, but not all things.
It's close shave part 2.
True.
Look at him just.
I do enjoy that panicle hop jump thing. That was adorable.
Yeah.
What kind of little dance is that?
I don't know.
I don't know how to fix this problem dance.
Hey, check it out, baby. They got diarrhea.
Yeah, man.
How did they?
This is the cleanest store I've ever seen in California.
Luckily for you, it's
They're like,
there they go.
That one just jumped out.
And this is another ironic thing. AI's been the topic of discussion to the point that even Scooby said it on podcast. Just a few hours ago, everybody's already sick of talking about AI, but this is the kind of the subject matter that you would see AI video creators do. Here's the prompt: have a herd of sheep just walk into a grocery store and poop everywhere.
This is what pains me. I love AI. I use AI for a lot of things, but I also see the many, many ways it will be misused and the consequences thereof. All sorts of weird crap that happens on a daily basis that would otherwise go viral will no longer be of any interest because people will just assume it's AI.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
You can have tea with Sasquatch. You can film it live. No one's going to buy it.
Sasquatch takes selfie vlogs nowadays. I remember how quick that fad came and went. I'm a stormtrooper out on the front, taking the rebel base at Hoth. Oh God, we just got shot down. This sucks. Digny, what's your thought on this clean store from California?
Well, it takes outsourcing to a whole new level. I'll say that, ladies and gentlemen. In regards to the outsourcing, I think we need more black sheep. Where are our DEI sheep? Where are our diversity sheep? But no.
The brown sheep and the pink ones. Look, I found them in Minecraft. They must be real.
Pink sheep are real. They're shiny Pokemon.
What most people don't seem to realize is, mostly because sheep are always on the field, is that sheep constantly poo because they constantly eat.
Yes.
It's how their metabolism, quite frankly, works. But I think it's very important that Germans realize that having sheep in a convenience store, in a grocery store, does make that store the cleanest store in the state of California. At least the sheep didn't rob anyone.
This
True.
is true. There might have been a couple of sheep that probably took a few bites off the produce aisle, though.
Yes, but I don't think anyone should have a problem with this. I mean, the person reacting negatively to the situation, I think that's quite frankly racist. I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with non-humans entering a store. I mean, I saw plenty of seagulls enter a store. They were robbing it, obviously, but
A flock of seagulls. Yes.
you know, it's not a problem. Okay, they're just browsing. They're not like the seagulls. They're not robbing things. Okay,
It's always
That's
the
right.
Seagulls. They're
They
always
didn't
starting
steal
shit.
$900 worth of shit. That's right. They were free to go. Yeah. Scooby, would you like to join us for Close Shave Part 2 in theaters everywhere?
It's always the seagulls. They're always starting shit, and once the seagulls start, then all the animals follow suit. They think, oh, if they can get away with it, so can we. So that's basically just like it's like one of those mass robs or mass things. It's like watching those it's like watching Black Friday all over again.
Oh yeah.
It's like watching people
only
just
nobody got
funnel into
trampled.
It's Black Friday for the sheep. Everybody run in, get their stuff. But I would not be surprised if a few of them did not remain in the back for a limited time sale for maybe a few blankets and steaks and bacon, you know. But if they crapped everywhere, can you imagine everywhere they pissed?
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's got to be one hell of. I feel sorry for anybody and everybody who had to clean up. I have no doubt in my mind that they probably had to call in some people that work there and say, "Hey, I need you to come in today. I know it's your day off, but thanks to some sheep, we need you to come in." And can you imagine the response? Can you imagine the response of people coming in saying, "This is one hell of an excuse to get me to come into work," and then you come into work and you find out it's true.
Yeah.
It's like you leave your head scratching, and I mean,
you know what has my head scratching is how come the raccoons haven't figured out this particular
we talked about one raccoon that was a repeat offender that got drunk.
Yeah, got drunk, but I'm talking about in mass, Tony. I mean, seriously, it's like why haven't they, why haven't they, or for that matter, the squirrels.
Raccoons and foxes and squirrels are very smart. They're biding their time. They're thinking up ideas. They are the ones that are in their homes with little maps, mapping out every area where they're like, okay, at this time you go here, you go there. These are the animals that are like Ocean's 13. Okay?
I have on good authority there's only one squirrel that denotes any amount of amicable and yet malicious intelligence. And it just happens to be a prehistoric variant with saber teeth that likes to tell scary stories every Friday night.
But those are the animals. Those are the ones, the squirrels, the raccoons, the foxes. Those are the ones who hide out and make little maps and stuff like that. Like it's Mission Impossible, or they're like they're all Ocean's 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you got to be careful for. The sheep are the sloppy ones, and the seagulls, they're risk takers.
This is all going back to, again, the theme of the show. This is all about main character syndrome. When 50 sheep go into a store and just mess around, everybody laughs it off.
Yeah. So
but if one person isn't the main character of their story, they're offended.
Yeah. Maybe this is just an animal test run to see if the sheep can get away with it, and then the rest of us can stage a larger coup.
Well, apparently they can. I mean, it started off with pigeons, then it went to seagulls, and now this.
And they ran.
Wow, man.
And the others, and then you have that one drunk raccoon. They're biding their time. And then come next year, next Black Friday, you're going to have horses, you're going to have sheep, you're going to have cows, you're going to have the raccoons.
This is the Chinese year of the horse.
Yeah, this is
that would be hilarious.
This is This is their that's what they're doing this right now. Early this year, they're all checking to see just what they can do, and then Black Friday, they're gonna put their plan in action, and they're gonna go to Target or Walmart and just flood in and get everything they need.
If Shrubby is still lurking out there, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It is the year of the horse, and Alpha's probably going to have to make a few Eldritch deals to get rid of the horse, since he has already essentially bound to basically, let's just say, be a mule for certain evil characters in the mafia. I do have to say that he may have to reach out to another evil overlord to get rid of his horsitis. So that means you, Fox. Anyway,
Speaking of bad news, I'm now haunted by the idea that this is all viral marketing for the upcoming animated Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Featuring Seth Rogen, and basically everyone we can trust will butcher it of all value and add another 50 RPMs to Eric Blair's corpse in his grave.
Agreed. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up in a nice, neat, pretty bow. It's now time to make fun of a successful streamer with just a bunch of, words.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but this is how this all ties together, ladies and gentlemen, because this person at least is self-aware of his main character syndrome. Time to point and laugh at the successful streamers. We can only hope that there's up-and-comers that'll point and laugh at us when we get there. That's just the cycle of things. That's just, what we like to call the circle of life. Here's our community news for the day.
Why can't we all just get along?
Because Asmongold says that he's his main character to a song, that's why. And that's funny. Let's point and laugh. Let's laugh at him. Asmongold on his main character status. Hassan wants to be the main character, but I'm the main character. That's the problem. Everybody's got to have an inferiority complex, a little bro situation.
Jeez.
That's fine.
I don't know what the fuck to say.
I don't care if he's...
So, yeah, you're the main character. I guess so, right? And, yeah, that's what happens. What you're saying is you have plot armor? I hope so, right? I definitely do. LSF's run by a big Destiny fan. They're allowing all types of shit as long as it's shitting on you. Well, I mean, hey, he's unhappy.
And you got to be careful with that Queen song. But as you can tell...
We've heard this song before, Tony. You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. Yeah, it's like, come on, dude.
I got clouds in my coffee. Clouds.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on, man. Come on, seriously.
I don't think
about that video. And the thing is, listen, they want to talk about it. They want to say whatever they want.
Wow.
Lord of mercy, heavens to Betsy. Lord, take me now.
It's to them, right? It's fine. And I don't think about it, worry about it. I just cover it, really.
I just covered it, really.
The only thing this guy has on other people is that if other people lived the way Asmongold did, their houses would disintegrate.
I know, right? It'd be just like, ugh.
No.
Good to see you, Jody Foster. Welcome back.
I think the houses would just rip up off the foundations and head out so that when he came back home, they wouldn't be there. They just move on their own accord. They're like, hey, I'm not having this guy inside of me anymore. I'm not having this guy sleep in my rooms. I'm not having him use my toilets.
Okay, son of Mars. That was a bit on the nose, but the house could be Asmongold, and this could be its meat puppet.
No, what it is it's like that episode of Treehouse of Horror, the Poltergeist rip-off episode, where the house is literally contemplating, life with Asmongold. What choice do I have? And then it just fucking implodes in on it. It's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm out.
More than anything else. And that's what matters to me. They're trying to give you main character syndrome like Hassan has, but it won't.
Oh, no.
Well, he's not lying.
Syndrome.
He's not lying there. Hassan does have main character syndrome.
He does. That's the problem. That is literally the problem. This is
he does.
This has been the recurring
But
theme
Hassan
of this
has.
whole show.
But Hassan has the worst case of it.
He does. He does. He does.
Hassan, the only way, Tony, Hassan can keep the lights on is by electrocuting his dog.
I know. Apparently, you get enough thermal energy out of that to power a house.
One of these days, he's going to wake up to discover that his dog found out how to move the electric collar onto him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And then he's going to be like, it's my turn to sleep with the electric company.
With the camera on so the audience can watch.
Now that I would pay for a super chat for.
To appreciate how much this is probably really pissing off Hassan Piker.
It is. You know, he's like...
After all, Hassan Piker loves China. He went to China and found out that Asmongold is bigger in China than he is.
Indeed. He is crying and peeing. He is coping and seething. And you are coping and you are seething.
He is a Nepo baby. That is what Hassan is. He is a Nepo baby.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, so beyond this, what else? What else can this man
won't work? Well, the reason is that Hassan wants to be the main character, but I am the main character. That's the problem.
By comparison.
Wow.
Well, everybody wants to be the main character of their story. Wow.
Everyone should try to be.
It's true, but you don't need to make it the focus of the story. It's like it's the Batman syndrome. It's, you know, my parents are dead, and I need to make it every criminal's problem.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn on my video. You can't see it, but right now I'm doing a Captain Picard move with my hand rubbing.
You're doing the face palm.
Really?
I'll go ahead and I'll narrate it for you. Can we have one more Fox laugh?
Yeah. How more cute can this guy get?
Yeah, right. There you go. There, the director's got it. There
you go.
The sadness and sorrow like never before.
The frustration exists on multiple levels.
Oh, Lord. He is the main character. Cool.
And so, really, I get it. I understand. But
you get it. You understand.
Like, to me, I just look, I see it for myself. And I'm like, okay.
That's
he sees it for himself. Is this like a self-parody thing?
I don't know. I don't know if he's like, I think Asmongold is capable. Asmongold is capable of multi-levels of trolling. He's trolled a lot. Quite frankly, I've seen him piss off some people.
But he's trolling himself.
He's trolling himself to piss off Hassan. He's doing this by proxy. He's making himself into an exaggerated facsimile and caricature of what Hassan Piker is.
Wow. I troll myself, and Hassan wouldn't care anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's all the streamer psychology. Streamer psychology has been a subject of a few deep dive conversations that I've had recently. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm suffering from some streamer psychology myself, especially with some of the decisions that I'm making backstage with what I want to do with the channel. And I know that there is a bit of an upset. But the funny thing is, and this has nothing related to the show, I'm trying to do the exact opposite of what every other streamer on the planet is doing.
Yeah. So
that's staging myself as the main character with main character syndrome.
Okay, well, you know, everybody's going to have like an inferiority complex, you know, like a...
Oh, I know that for sure, dude. You ain't gonna tell me that.
So it sounds like, I forget the name of the paradox, but this is Asmongold when Asmongold is being Asmongold as Asmongold.
Asmongoldception.
You know, And so if Asmongold was being Asmongold as Asmongold, this is what it would look like.
Asmongold.
That kind of thing.
Asmongold company standard.
And people wonder why content creation drives other people insane.
Yeah.
No, it is a very, because listen, there is a rush. There's a sense of satisfaction. I'm going to be real with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sense of satisfaction when you do well, when you hit a viral spike, when you have a big flush, when your metrics go all the way out the window. And it's like a dopamine hit without the need of a drug, but it is still very much an addiction, one that I'm currently wrangling with. Because of the growth of my channel, as insignificant as it is compared to people like Asmongold's numbers. Hell, this dude's got millions upon millions of people flinging his chat at him faster than, shit hitting the fan. So let's bring it down into the ballpark. What about the guy who crossed 1 million? This guy by the name of I don't know, what's that dude from, Nerdrotic? Gary. Yeah, that Gary guy who, his chat's flying by. Look at some of these big chat, and then you go even further down, to like, the 300,000 to 500,000 club. You're like, D-Day, D-Day Cobra, DC, Hypnotic at the 100K, Smash JT, almost if not at the 100K.
Yeah, but
then you go down just a wee bit further.
Yeah.
You go, where's he at?
But there are people who've overcome this, Tony. I mean, look at Star Wars Theory. He's plugging 3.5.
And he actually he used to do the same thing that a lot of these people are doing, and that's like attack other channels. Like, didn't he do this one like really big publicity stunt with foam, fucking aluminum foil over his face and yeah, we don't want to get too far into that,
right?
Yeah, but he's evolved. He's evolved into just talking about his own stuff, doing his own stuff, and that's what you really have to do.
Maybe
to
he got help.
Apart. Yeah, maybe he got help.
He got help.
You really got to set yourself apart.
As someone who's been bouncing around with this thing for about a decade now, this is tempting me into 1,000 different tangents that we don't have time for. Yeah. Suffice to say, though, the people who build their audience around tearing other people down are, for the most part, gone, except for a few dismal examples who somehow persist, like a particularly foul thought in the room.
When we make fun of these successful people doing this stuff, it's because we're going, oh my God, we have more talent in our collective pinkies than the people that are on screen. They've succeeded on what merits? That's the question. What merits?
I'm just saying it's sad.
It's depressing.
Well, no,
and that is what needs to change.
Well, the most prominent always appeal to the lowest common denominator. And they're always the most moderate, and they always appeal to the lowest common denominator. Don't say anything remotely controversial, right? Because you could be the most talented son of a gun out there, right? If you're even remotely controversial in this day and age, you will be annihilated. So the people who become the most popular, especially in our pop culture spaces, are usually the most tempered, the most moderate, the most benign, and the most palatable to the existing system, because those who get to the top of the tree are most likely those, for the most part, there are always a few exceptions, but are for the most part those who will not be able to bring down the rotting corpse that is the pop culture zeitgeist.
I do hope this is my fault.
Well, if the dignified cartoon gentleman who has a network of some of the most
difficulties, or is it someone else's?
Well, what? Did I skip
you?
Oh,
that's a bad sign.
What? Oh,
having
your
tech
camera.
Troubles.
Oh,
yeah.
If the dignified cartoon gentleman who has some of the most controversial up-and-comers in the business.
No, I'm online.
Is especially over on the Rumble side, I'm going to tell you this. Be honest with you guys. Be honest with you. The writing is on the wall. And thank you for being a 3-day subscriber. I'm glad that you're having a lot of fun. I'm just, the writing's on the wall, man. You got to start putting. It's, you know, if there's one thing that I could say that I could take from my former career as being a Mickey D's manager, that was my first thing that I did back when I was younger, right? Is there's this phrase called putting your aces in your places. There's right places to put certain stuff, and there's wrong places to put certain stuff. Much like your your staff, if you're staffing a well-oiled machine. This channel is now, as of this notice, stop fully entertainment. We are still going to have this news broadcast on this channel. We are not going to get rid of the news broadcast on this channel. That is not what we're saying. What we're saying is we're going to be adding much more risque hot takes and stuff over to a platform that is going to say it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make it official. The Tower After Hours is getting rebranded from an interview show to a full-on panel brawl talking about stuff without any filter whatsoever. So I think that's what we're going to do there.
My schedule permits it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
we got to find a day for you to be available for that as well, because I know your schedule is also very busy as well.
Fuck yeah!
Now,
Absolutely limited to the hours
and
on my
but
schedule.
this is still going to have some, some decently medium rare steak, hot takes. This show is just following the same format it's always did. We're just going to have to use a couple of more and a lot less of the other words that they're blocking.
Hey, look,
I will be able to let loose in my native language.
It will be 18 plus minimum over there, and I do hate to say this, but we're not going to be linking the Rumble channel going forward. We're going to have to do a process. Because I have to cater to both audiences. I know there'll still be plenty of content here for people that aren't 18 plus, but we have to be safe in these matters. We don't want to expose people to stuff that they don't need to be exposed to. That's my responsibility as a content creator. That is part of the terms of service. So with that, all of my videos are already not meant for kids, as well as lives. So view at your own discretion. We do have a big disclaimer at the beginning of all of my streams that says this is meant for a target audience. Some impersonations are done. It's the South Park disclaimer, right?
I got a question though, Tony.
Yes.
To get a subject back to this guy. How long do you think he's going to keep this up?
Until he stops making money off of it, like everything else.
Well, a little bro situation. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. It's okay.
I will make the point though that Asmongold has bent the knee on more than a few occasions to keep his status. He let go of a business that he founded due to cancel culture pressure. This man knows when to bend the knee to operate within the existing system. I made it quite clear in the chat. The most prominent appeal to the lowest common denominator. They are usually the most moderate, the most safe, the most pliable, and I do believe it is easier to grow, especially on YouTube and Twitch, if you have more protected characteristics, such as if you are female or if you are a minority or if you are, not a heterosexual. The DEI framework doesn't just exist in Hollywood. It also exists.
That's the reason why I'm turning into a voice acting and entertainment channel with this one. Like,
or a
just
Muslim
to cater to the broad audience.
Case.
Yeah.
I don't understand why animal torturers are a protected class, personally.
Yeah. But let's not fret. Obviously, Asmongold is successful for no other reason besides, playing into it is what it is. What happened to Hexenhammer? Is that a creator? I'm who's Hexenhammer? There's something you wanna?
No, it's a tangent. Oh boy,
When
Yeah, that
I
was
see the
pretty
word
mediocre.
Hexen, I want to play Hexen. I don't. What's Hexen Hammer?
Styx Hexenhammer was a commentator who is the most lankiest beanpole fellow who described himself as a non-practicing Satanist who did most of his
Oh,
views
God.
wearing a leather jacket and no shirt.
Oh no.
For
That's
all
terrifying.
this, he typically had very basic, reasonable takes that I'm skeptically truly believed in, and he was very smug about being right, even though nothing he pointed out was ever relevant to what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Styx Hexenhammer 666 is living proof that you can be a perfectly capable content creator and become prominent. But if you become even remotely controversial, you'll be annihilated. Be a
He was
Satanist
a
all you want.
bargain
You'll
bin
grow.
razor fist. Yeah, I don't think Satanism's on the docket or any personal relatability for that matter. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be bringing our show to a veritable close, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all again for tuning in to tonight's episode of StarkCast Mk26. Yes.
Fun segment. I was going to.
Crap on it. Yeah, my bad. I am all over the place. My first professional blooper.
I just
cut it in.
was enthusiastic.
Yeah, so am I. All right, well, let's go ahead and do our what to watch, and we're going to go around the room and provide something forward. And I will go first. The show that I want to bring to everybody's attention that I got into recently is a little show called Landman, and it is a good take on the oil industry. It's a really well-written show. If you like that kind of like, 1923, kind of like storytelling, if you like the shady side of the power industry, if you like any of that kind of drama that happens with people that are just trying to grow their empire, I highly recommend Landman. It is a really good one. I was actually put onto it by another colleague of mine that goes by the Admiral, and I've been watching a couple episodes of a night. So that is my submission, is Landman. Marcelo, what have you got?
Me?
What do you recommend to watch or listen?
Well, at first, I wasn't too keen on it, but then I muscled through, and I finished the season of Pluribus, and I'm genuinely curious to see what the hell they do with what they end up with at the end of season 1. There's some interesting things to explore. Okay, I don't want to spoiler it for anybody who hasn't.
It's basically a Truman Show effect, ain't it?
It's not really a Truman Show effect.
Well, that's what I got from the trailer. It felt like it was a Truman Show.
It isn't. It's Contact, the movie Contact / Invasion of the Body Snatchers / A for Andromeda / Last Person on Earth. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff in it, but
I don't know if I want to watch that, but go on.
Like I said, I had to muscle through, man. But there are some curious things to find out at the end of it. Okay, that's one, and then the other one, which I was very surprised to see, the actor from Shang-Chi, Simu Liu. Leo, he is in a show called The Copenhagen Test. I'm not going to spoiler it either, but that one was actually pretty interesting. Cool. Yeah, pretty interesting.
The Copenhagen test.
The Copenhagen test. Yeah, the Copenhagen test. That one's on a streaming platform called Peacock. The NBC streaming
Peacock.
platform.
My favorite Peacock show is still Twisted Metal. That was a lot of fun to see Sweet Tooth personified.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I hated that show.
You and I can agree to disagree.
Well,
if you could just turn your brain off with a story about people that are driving around death cars. I mean,
go back to your PS1 days and you'll be fine.
That's right.
I enjoyed the original ones. I just thought having a show about it was stupid.
Yeah. Hey. So
I don't know. I kind of like the big, bulky, psycho killer Sweet Tooth model. Where
that was really the only thing I liked about it. That was it.
Sweet Tooth carried the show.
Sweet Tooth was the only character I liked about it.
That's what made the Sweet Tooth was enough.
Yeah.
Director, what do you recommend?
I feel I missed out on whatever.
Oh,
that said,
classic.
if you'll bear with me, I have a bit of a tangent. I have no idea why.
What century are you streaming
screwed
from?
with. I had some manner of fleeting service interruption. I suspect that's relevant to this. I have to beg upon patience because I have no idea what's going wrong. But I take some solace in the fact it wasn't my fault. It's my old nemesis, technical difficulties.
That
reminds me so much of Poe, and I don't have time to explain. My recommendation, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, is Event Horizon, a movie that I consider an epic, very important piece of sci-fi horror. It is basically a warning against not testing out your faster-than-light travel systems well, and in fact, is so ill-thought on that point, I'm inclined to think that people who made the drive system were probably part of some sort of satanic death cult. But it's one of many love letters that went into Species Unknown, an early access game available right now for $10. I've been on a spree with this lately. I did a nearly 5-hour-long stream with it with a good friend of mine. It is a survival horror experience. Unlike many, contained within mission segments where you're not just running in terror, you're trying to outwit the thing that's trying to eat your face, eat your head, or turn you into a zombie.
Metal. Absolutely metal. I like that. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent submissions, my friend.
Right, mission.
Excellent submissions.
Thank you.
And I love Event Horizon. My God. That's like Event Horizon is to Warhammer 40K as Galaxy Quest is to Star Trek. It is so similar that it might as well just be part of the universe. I mean,
what I love about it is the
human warp drive. Yeah. The first warp drive, and it traveled into places that were better left undisturbed. Hi, Stolas. Digny, what's up? What do you have to recommend for us to watch during our What to Watch segment?
Folks, just watch Star Trek The Next Generation, right? Watch the older episodes and see Gene Roddenberry's true vision. It was so groundbreaking that Rick Berman decided, you, my good man, are going to have nothing to do with the future of Star Trek. Yeah. Everyone talks about, we love Gene Roddenberry's bold vision of a happy, bright future. But then he greenlit an episode. You remember that episode where he had the alien Africans kidnap Tasha Yar? You remember that?
Yeah.
That's Gene Roddenberry's vision of a bright future. So much so that they got rid of him. Okay? It's one thing to say, we love this guy, he was a pioneer. But then when he actually executed his vision in the 90s and 80s and 90s, people were like, sorry, bruh, we can't have that. But go and check out Star Trek The Next Generation, especially the first 2 seasons, to see what might have been. For something more recent, to keep it on the Star Trek wagon, check out the later seasons of Deep Space Nine. It was basically Netflix before Netflix was Netflix. Very groundbreaking for the time, having an arc that lasted multiple seasons. But it did mark the beginning of the end of the golden age of Star Trek, because it was viewership that mattered. It was ratings that mattered. And without
this
high
little thing
ratings,
called ratings, and my good friend Vox can back me up on this. This little thing called ratings before streaming, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have never encountered it, back when you had to use rabbit ears or, by God, the cable company or Dish Network. Error. There's a thunderstorm that's 30 miles that way, but you ain't watching Spike TV today. So, error.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys. Why didn't Deep Space Nine get a movie? Because it started its run with an average viewership of 10 million and ended its run with an average viewership of 3 million.
Oh, yeah.
It's as simple as that. So there you go. Those are my recommendations.
It's a similar metric to what people are doing in streaming now, but the way that they do their metrics versus the old ratings is a lot more complex than it needs to be. But then again, Scooby, what do you want to recommend for us to watch?
On my end, it is more along the lines of what to play, because TV and movies have severely let me down several times.
Of course. Well, isn't that everyone?
I mean, as far as TV and movies go, probably the only thing that I've seen recently would be the second FNAF movie, which was okay.
No one said it has to be
just like the first one, it was pretty cool with the lore. But may I recommend some games to play?
By all means, go right ahead. By the way, as you're getting that set up, I'm going to go ahead and announce that we're going to be rating. As I said before, I was going to promote Fet for Hire tonight. He has no idea that I'm doing this. And, we recently passed him up in subs, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross-pollinate. They're talking about Star Wars 1977, so that is where I will be sending you guys after this show is done. Go ahead, Scooby.
Well, anybody
what would you recommend to play?
So anybody who has been watching my gameplay streams knows that I have been playing a lot of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And I got to say, that is one game you have got to get your hands on. Fuck Mario Kart. This game is epic. This game is 100% awesome. I mean, I have never come across a racing game like this that is so awesome. As far as other games, I would like to recommend, if you're a big fan of hack and slashes, I recommend Lost Soul Aside. That is another very, very good one. And if you like horror games, I highly recommend Silent Hill F. For RPGs, I recommend Code Vein. Especially Code Vein. If you want to try that one out, I suggest you do it sooner rather than later, because Code Vein 2 comes out January 30th. And I'll be picking that up day one. So yeah, I definitely recommend playing those games.
All right. Awesome possum. Thank you very much. Thank you. Grazie. Well, Fet doesn't have his redirect privileges set for me, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, back in the pre-monetized ways. Be sure to go ahead and give Fet for Hire a hail and a hi and a Stark raid after the show, and there is his link to his current discussion in progress.
And one other thing, if you like AJ Starhiker and some of her stuff or whatever, she is a frequent guest whenever I stream Sonic Racing Crossworlds alongside Furious Dan and Killer J. And she loves to enjoy embarrassing me a lot in the game. Like she loves to kick my ass whenever she gets a chance. So yeah, come along for those streams and watch her. If you are a fan of AJ, you will like her beating me.
So be sure to go ahead and raid Fett after that as well. And be sure to check out AJ Star Hiker on Mash 'em Up Mondays whenever they're driving around in their go-karts that go beep, beep. All right, where were we? Now we can do the show end. So let's go ahead and get back to it. Thank you once again for tuning in to StarkCast Mk26. This has been a fun one, guys. A little bit on the longer side, but hey, I tell you what, we'll be crunching that format back down as early as next week. Let's go ahead and go around the horn. The Shadow knows what's coming up at the Son of Mars channel,
which is still not up, but that is for good reasons. Soon to come. But in the meantime, you can find me here at StarkCast and hanging around the shadows of other places on the internet, where I will be giving it the straight spin. No fluff, just the stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And it's good that we're going to have some people that are going to have the journalistic desire to continue to, you know, basically, as the old saying goes, the straight dick of the matter. Alas, my business practices must adapt to the changing times, but that does not mean that we are going to be getting rid of everything that we had once broadcasted on the regular. We're just going to be splitting the viewership to certain and other avenues. So, the director, what have you got coming up, my friend?
Oh, I've got a lot of things coming up. Despite to say, if you're following my YouTube channel, you can expect a SCP read, which I've done for many, many years now. And most of which involve a raffling off of a Steam for a game. Which one? I haven't checked the list, so just show up for it, I guess. Thank you, Kronos, for your recognition of my sloves. And despite to say, if any of us are AI, simulation theory is real. In which case, who are you? Good night and sweet dreams.
Thank you, dead internet. Wait, what? Ah, Digny!
Well, thank you all very much for watching this episode of StarkCast. You can find me over at the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, where I explore why things go wrong in pop culture, entertainment, and wider gaming. I'm only 2 subs away from 320, so any support is appreciated. January started off very well, but it seems to be slowing down a lot, and I think that's true of a lot of pop culture creators in our circles. Any support is, as I said, appreciated. Expect 3 videos a day for the next week.
Fantastic. Always good to have you here, my friend. Can't wait to have you back next week. Scoops! Like, geez, Scoop, what do you got coming up, man?
Sorry, Duckyard was being a bitch to me.
Now I'm not alone with the bloopers. Excellent.
So for me, as usual, Scooby Pups podcast, 5 p.m. Eastern every Saturday. Be sure to check it out. Let's see, and next Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, I will be dropping the last Has-Been Hotel Season 1 review video at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then I will be doing another review with Love It, and she and I are going to have a fun one with that one. We're probably going to pick a nice, good movie. So keep an eye out for that one with Love It Ever After. During this week, we'll definitely have a Scooby Pups Sparkade as much as possible. A lot of Sonic racing will probably take place, and I might do a very small Scooby Pups Sparkade tomorrow. Might. That's a very big might, as we did have a death in the family.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Fox from Fox Tech reminding you that Scooby is going to be reviewing Has-Been Hotel Season 2 with none other than yours truly. Trust us with your not-so-fake news.
As I was saying, funny to you.
It is very funny.
Yeah, whatever. Scooby Pub Sparkade is Scooby Pub Sparkade is Mondays through Fridays. The times are whatever I feel like. Normally at nighttime. I try to make them around 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. if I start them in the afternoon, but normally around nighttime. Sometimes at 7 p.m. is normally when I do it. So I highly recommend checking those out. They go late into the night. I am not a short streamer. I like to make my gameplay streams good and long. So yeah.
That's why she has the most fun when she's making fun of me whenever I'm playing Doom.
Oh, I'm constantly making fun of you whenever I'm playing. It is my single joy in life. Unless I'm doing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, then I'm just going off on various
Well, I
stands.
can't wait to show you how to drive.
Women drivers, am I right?
I love you, Scooby. I love you to death. What have I got coming up? I'll tell you what I got coming up. We're going to be, Alf may be joining us for Tuck and Roll over at the Cotton Council here in just a few minutes, actually. Or I may just, because the cool thing about Tuck and Roll is I can bring in any characters. I don't know. I might surprise them just for a little bit. And then, of course, what is tomorrow? Sunday? What have I got a lot to do tomorrow? A whole lot of nothing, I don't think. So I guess we might as well just go ahead and have our Rick Sanchez hosted subathon to fill up the time tomorrow. And see if we can't preach 3,400 or 3,450 with some Rick and Morty fans. Absolutely. And also, Zax is going to be on later at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a lot of people that are going to be streaming. So wherever you go, be sure to follow everybody in this community so you can turn right around and come back and watch everybody that you missed live on the rewind, because it really helps all of us small fries out there. In the meantime, go say hi to Fett. And last but certainly not least, Shrubby, I've not updated my video. So as I sign the video off, I'm going to go ahead and just highlight your name, so that way you're on the end screen. I plan on getting to that very, very soon. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart and the heart of my bottom. You are what make this possible, and I cannot do this alone. As we begin our refocus and rebrand, I want to make a promise to everybody that I've gathered so far that I'm not going to change as much as everybody thinks I'm going to change. Okay? There is still going to be hot takes. There's still going to be stuff to discuss. There's plenty of people to make fun of out there. But we have to start focusing on the voice acting and the parody songwriting and the comic dubbing and the production quality of such, to the point that that has to take the front seat. Are you still going to see me occasionally play video games? Absolutely. Okay? We're not changing as much as you think we're changing. Trust us with your entertainment.